Welcome back to the War for Dream of Electric Sheep. I'm Darren, the Dungeon Master. These lovely people are left to right. Bada-bada-boom.
I'm Amy, I play Isadora.
I'm Ian, I'm there, but...
Oh, God.
I'm Ian's wife, Neil. I play Amy.
I'm Laura, I play Coda.
Fantastic. When we last left our heroes, they fled the city of Orion. I'm sorry, buddy. But equally, I don't care. That's my cough, and I will cough if I want to. We fled Uria, chased by a big doggo. We were then chased by two Hand of Uria individuals on a horse. One was essentially like their horse reared up and they kind of like, oh, I've lost them. They've outrun me because my horse is a shit. And then the other one they killed in violent fashion. They rested as they were tired. It was lashing. It was raining. Under the dead of night, the party were robbed blind, under Esme's nose, no doubt, because she's an elf and she can meditate, so she's fully aware of what's going on. But sure, that didn't stop our best girl, Esme. So everyone got robbed. Esme fainted. Hashtag fainted. Izzy and Coder tracked down the bandits, scared them out of the forest because Izzy is a hag now, apparently. It was genuinely fantastic. It was brilliant.
No.
Then we got our stuff back. We returned. We got 200 gold extra on top of everything. We managed to get that to loot. We arrived at Orion. We had a bit of a warm welcome. The guards were nicer. The city was bursting with merchants and whatnot, their knickknacks. The party were offered a lovely room at the Salty Dog, I believe it is. A nice inn. They were rude to the spokesperson, as per usual.
We were literally harassed in the street to come stay at this. I was like, okay, maybe not, stranger.
I couldn't say no.
Against mine. Yeah, Coda literally could not. Then they saw this odd individual dressed in thick, heavy green robes and cloaks with kind of spirals and diamond-shaped embroidery. Sporting, which would later be revealed to be a mask that very much like a Seeker's, but it had odd carvings in it. But it was very much just a face mask. There was clear straps. You could see the person's hazel eyes underneath it, kind of thing. They look kind of like later on we realized they have kind of like elf, half elf features, like with the ears and such. But they seem to be picking bits with each in broad daylight. No one seemed to be noticing them. They were kind of shocked that Isadora and Coda, the rest of the party too, technically, but yeah, Isadora and Coda could see them, and they gave chase. There was a bit of back and forth, bit of banter. Isadora blew up a wall and hit him in the head with a brick. They started to bleed. They lost the trail of blood, but picked it back up sometime after. Followed him to an abandoned house. Tried to have a chat with him, but it turned out that the brick had kind of hit him pretty awfully, and they started to bleed out pretty quickly. Collapsed on the floor. Isadora and Coda decided it would be the thing to do to save this individual, so they, stabilized him, gave him a little bit of HP back. The person's piece of chalk that they had drunk, Coda had picked up. Coda gave it back. He returned it to him. This person used this chalk to draw a door on the floor, which seemed to open into this odd kind of like storeroom slash. It kind of looked like the back of a shop, but clearly wasn't part of a shop. But they climbed down through this trapdoor that magically disappeared behind them. They met Oswald, an individual who seemed to change his shape once from a kind of distorted dwarf to kind of an elven man. There was Jeroni, a small, I can't remember who rolled it, but someone rolled it, and they identified her as a quickling. The tiny fey creatures, kind of blue, typically kind of like blue with silver hair, slicked back, kind of tricksters, kind of like fey leprechauns, basically, way smaller. And then there was Hazel Eyes, who eventually revealed his name to be Morthal. And they kind of had a chat. Oswald offered them, bed and breakfast. You can stay here. Thanks for saving our silly friend.
Oswald kept touching me inappropriately.
Oswald's horny for research.
Oswald's horny for merchants and inventors.
Oswald's horny for anything he can exploit for money. Coda is horny for research. Realizing that Myrthal was claimed to be a researcher of the skies near the end, Coda was like, "Oh, that's pretty neat. Tell me more." immediately shut down. Oswald's very into making money and was kind of making passes at Coda, which naturally fell on deaf ears. And then we left. They said their thank yous. It was kind of midday, so they're like, look, thanks for the free bed and B, but we're going to head. No, she's not. False, correct, remove it from the character sheet. They passed through, again, Morthal drew a door in the wall with his chalk, and on the door that quickly appeared when the party passed through, they just farewell, and they closed the door behind him. Upon closing the door, they realized that the door disappeared, but around the rim of where the door was is kind of the outline if there was a door there in the first place. And there was dust and such on the floor, like on the ground itself, just from the door, which sparked the party as odd because it's the similar effects and kind of like, not clues, what's the word? Signs from where the Warforged went disappearing in that one alleyway in Urian. We literally broke, we literally left the game there with the party standing in that alleyway, looking directly to their left, out onto like sailing away, like a busy road, the marketplace. To the right seems to just kind of go further down into the alley behind some of the buildings, and and that's pretty much where we are. We the party standing away to their left, a busy street, and kind of seems like it's probably very close, if not leading directly back out to the marketplace. And to the right just seems to kind of lead you behind more buildings.
Another thing to say just before we go on, Murtaugh also called himself a keeper, which was the same thing that Red used to be. And when we mentioned that, Coda was a mechanist, or was doing the same stuff the mechanists were doing, he got kind of mad, so we reckon he used to be part of the guild.
Yes, that's very true, Amy. Thank you for that. I completely forgot about that. Very key point. Thank you very much. But yeah, guys, essentially, Orion is like cobblestone, kind of nice. I want to be. No, you're not. You had your chance and you threw it back.
Oh, also, we were also told that the Torchbearers often stay at the Albatross, which is like
yes.
the main inn in town.
Well, depends. If you talk to that chef from the Salty Dog.
Well, yeah, the Salty Dog is like the shitty inn, and the Albatross is like the nice one, apparently.
You 100% got that the opposite. Like, the Salty Dog is the nice one, the Albatross is the shithole.
Wait, I thought the Salty Dog looked real dodgy.
No, it looked dodgy in the sense that a dude in all black robes was kind of like, hey, you want to come into this weird inn? Oh. That's why it looked dodgy, but it's like actually a nice building. The Albatross is apparently kind of shitty.
Okay.
It's kind of like a sailor's pub, but yes, Red indeed identified as a keeper. This individual claimed to be a keeper. Torchbearers are chilling in the Albatross. Orion itself is a seaside. It's a seaside city. It's like a port. It's got cobbles, kind of loosely spaced, not the perfect road work, but the buildings are kind of that white stone, probably limestone. Some of the nicer buildings are kind of like, nice red brick, like, ooh, we can afford the clay bricks, ooh, that kind of red brick look. They've got those, like, the edges of the buildings have that trim of, like, the brown kind of stained wood. And a lot of the buildings either have slate or kind of like a thatch tops. But it's quite nice. It's like a lot, air is kind of like coarse because it's seaside air, and the buildings, everything kind of has sort of like worn down by the sea salt kind of feel to it. Everyone's hands looks a little bit like rougher, the sides of the buildings facing the sea specifically kind of look a bit rougher because of just that sharp air. But it's nice, it's refreshing, as Amy and Coda, or Amy and Laura pointed out, that
that's me. I consulted with Coda.
Oh yeah, Amy summoned him forth.
Amy and Izzy have swapped places now. Izzy's in the real world and Amy's in the game.
But they kind of pointed out that it's probably the first time their characters have seen the ocean like properly, and that was kind of neat. That was a nice little detail I personally loved because the ocean is the best fucking thing ever. So maybe that's the same for your guys' character. I don't know up to you, but yes, you guys find yourself in a alleyway. You know that the Torchbearers chill in the Albatross. You know that there is apparently a giant problem. Probably reckon talking to either, like, it's a case of no one said it, but like, everyone has above 2 intelligence, so they reckon either going to the mayor or the city watch at least would probably be the first people to ask about the giant issue that is indeed plaguing the city. So yeah, there you go, guys. You're in an alleyway. To the left is to the market. To the right, deeper into the alleyways, just behind buildings out of sight. What do you do?
Oh my god, you guys, what a great adventure. I thought we were done for that time. Can we go and find my friends now?
Friends.
Ho!
They're everyone's friends.
No, they're mine. I abandoned you for them.
Isidore Short
No.
like, oh, okay, true.
You abandoned your friends, and then in a state of panic, you were like, "They'll accept me," and you ran after them.
Hey, it made sense at the time.
Oh
It was a
no,
cool
I
idea.
ain't saying it was a bad plan. I'm just saying.
As May left, I wrote a reason there was another character that I could play, and then she went and found the other quest hook that I thought was interesting. It was a good time.
And now she rang the storm, causing tornadoes and stuff to
She's just a
happen.
wagon.
Yeah, she's absolutely mental. Where are we going, boys?
The
As May
albatross?
let's go to the Albatross.
You pass back out onto the street, meandering through the crowds that populate the marketplace. It's nice. It's busy. A lot of people are like, "Hey, you want to buy a crazy insert item here? Do you want to buy a cursed monkey hand? Why not? Huh? That sort of thing. Want to buy some shrunken heads? Want to buy a fish? Want to buy 6 fish?
We got shrunken head, we got monkey paw, we got crazy straw.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. All manner of weird trinkets, and again, the roof, like not the roof, but there's kind of like this fish net area above the over the market, and a lot of the alleyway or a lot of the streets, like trinkets dangle for them, and also just kind of generally like ocean themed things and sailing themed things kind of dangle from lots of shells and such. It's pretty neat. It's pretty cute. I like it. But yes, you guys managed to go towards the. Says you're the great, and I'm happy. That's nice. Oh God!
Anyway.
No, Neil. By all means, continue. Where's that fucking Jason Momoa again? One sec. No, not really.
Which one?
The one where he pulls out the chair. It encapsulates my existence. It's best. But yes, the albatross. You guys turn the corner. A kind of a street kind of veers out into like a cone shape, much like the cone of puke that Coda did spew that one time. Hashtag Throwback Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So yeah, the street kind of gets wider and wider and wider. On the left, you see this kind of like I guess you guys, like even the city folk and even the people who didn't necessarily come from the city would be like, that looks kind of old timey. Probably one of the older taverns in the area, it seems, or the inns at least. It's kind of got like that crisscross design in the windows. All the windows are kind of that murky green, kind of like wine bottle-y kind of color. It's got like a stainless steel or like an iron. I don't know, stainless steel. I fucking don't know materials. Anyway, and a stencil of a bird / albatross. It's like the albatross, and it's all a very nice, lettering. It looks kind of nice. There's a bit of puke by the front door. And the more you look at it, you're more like, wood looks a bit shit. And there's grime on that window's cracked. And as you kind of like, it's done.
Oh no.
But you guys, including the whole party, because again, the whole party were there last week. Across from directly across on this wide street, the street's about like maybe 30 feet wide, a shop. It's very plain, very boring, but on the front it says Oswald's Oddities.
So that's like his front.
Yes. So, friends, before you was the Albatross, Oswald's Oddities, towards the docks as well as right before you, the marketplace behind you, and the shrine of Osprey. What do you do?
Would we be familiar with Osprey?
Give me a religion check, buddy.
Yeah.
Cool,
I have a weird curse where 13 plus 3 is like, if I'm ever adding a +3, I get a 13. It's always 13 plus 3. I don't know what's going on, but it's scaring me.
Oh, don't jinx it.
And Amy rolled a 13 with a +3. Illuminati confirmed.
Confirmed.
Anyway, Osprey, you would know, is a lesser deity, perhaps? No, not really, because I don't believe in that lesser deity shit. She's a goddess of the sea, goddess of sea voyages, sea harvesting, very much like, often referred to as like perhaps the queen of the ocean. She's very much like considered like a sailor's like, oh, I'm in love with the sea. It's like, so you're in love with Osprey, that sort of thing. Very much a sailor's or fisherman's kind of god. Should bring often when one prays her, it's to bring prosperity to either a voyage, like safe travel, bountiful harvest if you're going fishing, or even just kind of generally to like, hey, we're sailors and fish folk, please watch over us, your almighty goddess, that sort of thing. And people typically offer up catches from the ocean, anchors, shells, even sometimes some captains straight up give like full small like little chests of gold from their like bountiful voyage, where it's like, oh, we got so much gold here, it's all because Osprey blessed us, here's a big pot of gold, that sort of thing. But yeah, she's not that she's not well known, because like pretty much any god in this world exists, but like it's a case of like, it's just there's not a lot of port towns or like kind of like high sailor count cities bar Orion that you guys know of anyway. There's probably more past the tree line towards the south where like Dead Man's Haven, there's a lot more areas around the city or around the coast, more so where like the kind of like Erythor nice areas in quotations. It's very much like inland. Like the opposite side of Orion then is Dagden, which is inside a mountain, that sort of thing. But yeah, you guys would have read about it or at least heard, and it's like, oh yeah, that's kind of like sea voyage lady thing.
Like the thought that like somewhere in the astral plane, like there's a ding as she gets another offering, and she's like, what am I gonna do with all these fucking anchors?
Legit, like, yeah. She's like, I've got anchor tables, anchor chairs, got anchor shoes. What do I do? But yes, that's meant to be in the heart of the city, because the two maps I was getting mixed up, but I found the old Orion map and I'll post it later, because it has some points that were like just quests. I just was like, no, we're not doing that anymore. Just in general, I was like, no, I don't like that. But the map is so ugly. But the shrine was in that one and it isn't in this one. But yeah, I'll post it later. It's fucking ridiculous. But yes, guys, as you pass the shrine, you notice all these offering shells, anchors, even flags from ships, like carvings of the ocean, carvings of birds, and all this jazz. And yeah, there's like even pots of gold there, but no one's touching them. Like these things are like out there for the world to see, and nobody touches them.
I guess we'll walk towards the albatross.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah, as you approach, the sea air fills your nostrils, the pile of puke fills your nostrils. It's not nice, it's unwarranted, and you're kind of like, could you not? As you go to open the door swings open towards you as a shape of limbs comes flying out. Two individuals, a half-elf man and a human man, slam down into the cobblestones, and you hear a voice booming from the door. It's like, that's what you get for skipping on the tip next time, bye! And a very stout, stocky-looking halfling woman comes out, and she's got her arms rolled up. She's got an apron on. You can see like stains of like ale on her like the on her arms and such, as if like she like immediately her entire attire screams like waitress. And like one of the lads has like a proper black eye, and she gets the other one and like pulls him by the scruff of the neck and goes to punch him, and kind of like sees the party and is like, "Welcome to the Albatross. Can I get you a drink?" Like has her fist up in the air kind of thing. It has this other guy, but it's basically the other gentleman that does not have a black eye, and is like about to hit him, but it's very much like, "What can I get you?"
Table for 4.
She's like, "Aye, all right, go in. Plenty of tables, and yeah, we'll get you a drink." And boom, straight into this dude's eye, and she's like, "Pay your tab and tip me next time. You've got one day." And she kicks one of them up the arse, and they kind of like fall forward. She's like,
Now I'm really glad we didn't go to that place.
Yes, as you guys enter, it's nice. It's kind of a low roof, kind of low hanging roof. Again, ocean themed and sailing themed trinkets dot the area, like dot the walls. Like there's anchors on the walls. There's paintings of ships. Kind of a recurring ship, you notice. It's kind of got like a stained wood. It's kind of like a rich red, maybe even purple. Too short. Kind of varies from painting to painting. Probably the lights kind of stained the mint a little. The floorboards are kind of like a bit rough around the edges, but it's kind of like homely. Got that like kind of musk feel and smell. All the those look kind of nice. A few of them have chips in them from what definitely looks like blades going to them, and like the edges are chipped from just basically probably being overturned in fights, and there's a lot of stains on them. But for the most part, it looks nice. The booth you guys find is quite nice. The boots are actually rather nice. Kind of nice kind of fabric that you guys sit on. It's nice, cute. There is indeed what looks like a human man behind the bar, like just again stuck in that idle animation of just like polishing a glass with a bit of like a big clean rag. As you guys sit down, this stocky halfling woman approaches you and is like, right, the goblin asks for drinks. What are you drinking?
Wine.
What wine would you like? What brand? What make? She nods at Risbeth.
White wine.
White. Fantastic, because that's pretty much the extent of her wine. White. She basically like points like not like an accusing here, but just kind of like you to like Coda and Izzy.
Yeah, now.
White wine is fine, thank you.
White. Cool. And she turns and she's like, any food, anything at all? And she's kind of saying this as she's backing away. She's like, anything extra at all?
You got rooms?
Like, we should. I can check with management.
That'd be lovely.
She's like, good. And she like twirls on her heel kind of thing, and goes to the bar and like is like kind of like leans forward, like kind of like hops up onto one of the stools and leans forward talking to the bartender, and they're like clearly talking about the table of people. By the way, this place is completely empty bar, you guys. And essentially, they're talking in like you can see this man's kind of like trying to hide his smirks and giggles and like glancing over to the table, and then he's like, yeah, sure. And he like starts like reaching down underneath the table or the bar and like pulling up glasses, and you guys, he pours 2 tankards of ale, and there's 2 glasses of wine are poured, and she brings it back over and she's like, that'll be 1 gold and 5 silver, please. Kind of like announces this as she like slides them out to everybody.
We're probably gonna have more than one. Can we settle up at the end? Or is
oh, that's cute. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. How we do things here is we pay per drink because tabs don't tend to get paid. So new rules.
Well, Risbit's paid it, so I.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, she says that like I'm gonna say like Risbit's. That's cool. Yeah, I'll get it. And she said it, and he's like, thank you very much. You wanted rooms?
Yes.
We have 2 free. They both 2 beds each. You might have to double up. We're kind of booked up. Other than that,
That's fine.
Oh my god! Barely sleep over with his Aurora.
Oh, why did you say that? It's just how much have you had to? But she's like, I'll need names, and she just like has like essentially like a little piece of parchment and like a quill.
Esme just points. It's like Esme, Risbit, Coda, Isadora.
And she's like, fine. And she's like back down. It's like, and surnames?
We're all like share. We just have one name. No,
So
no. She just says our second name. All of our second names are Darrow.
what?
Darrow.
Coda was like momentarily really pleased that you called him Coda, not Icarus. Then when you see Darrow, he just like puts his head in his hands, just like yeah.
And she's like Esme Darrow, and then Risbit Solfuel, and then Isadora Darrow, and Coda Darrow.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, and like as Rizzy asks this, she turns. She's like, "Oh, I'm Miriam. Pleased to meet you." And she's like, "Right. I'll yeah." And she like turns on her heel and goes towards the barkeep, and like you can kind of catch some words. And she's like, "Yeah, those 2 rooms are free." Yeah. And he's like, "Oh yeah. I'll send I'll send Kazi up to clean. It's fine. Yeah, they'll be ready. They'll be ready. Like an hour or 2 at most." She's like, all right, cool. And she hops back down, and she's like, yeah, look, those rooms will be ready in a couple of hours, and we just need to clean them up and freshen them up and all that jazz. You know how it is. It'll be 5 gold per night.
Do we pay that up front?
Yes.
I'll give her the gold for that.
She's like, fantastic. Enjoy your drinks, and if you need anything, just ask. We will, if you guys are chilling here for a while, we'll probably just come over and let you know when the room's ready. We'll give you your keys. If not, when we first, like, just obviously if you're going out, doing whatever you got to do, and when you come back tonight, someone will be on duty and they'll give you your keys. It'll be all sorted.
I did have a quick question, actually. We were supposed to meet some friends here. A tiefling man, a dwarf woman. We were told they hang around here sometimes. Have you seen them?
A lot of people come and go, and this place is very popular. I can't quite say specifically, all those faces. Bit of a blur.
Dressed in religious garb, I suppose.
They're clerics. Pelor, the god of the sun. Also, I'm fairly certain he's, like, not even a red tiefling. Is he not, like, a purple tiefling?
I think he's
He's
blue.
blue.
He's blue.
He's blue.
Yeah, like, it's a blue tiefling. That's pretty special. Are you sure that we can't... Esme produces a dollar bill. It's like, are we sure we can't?
Pulls it up between her boobs, like, just...
Yeah, 100%. Esme's like, are you sure we can't persuade you into... maybe this will freshen your memory.
She's like a blue 20 gold, a blue tiefling, a blue 20
No,
gold.
that's sorry.
Blue tiefling. No,
I
I
guess
haven't
this
seen him.
explains.
She just turns.
Guess this explains why they don't have that much business.
Now, Izzy. So if you're going to say it in binary so they can't hear you.
You can't understand binary.
Well, then say more that way so I can't hear you. I kid.
Or you can say
Miriam
it
It's
into the
spins
room.
and she's just like, interesting binary. Ooh, and walks off.
Eh.
No, not Don't do that shit
Esme-
again.
Esme just rolls out a big map and she just puts a big
Esme, I'm
X
serious.
over her.
Don't do that shit again.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Well, they're not here anyway, the Torchbearers, so what's our plan? Find giants?
Well, no, we can look for them. I'm sure.
Well, I'm sure
someone's
we'll
been
find them
seeing
at some point. We're told they frequent here. Or did you want us to meet them
Darren.
before we go?
Yeah.
Do we actually have a map of the town or do we just have our big map of, like, what's going on?
No, you guys don't have a map of the town.
Was that we don't or we do?
Oh, sorry, you do not. You have a big map of your area. Like, I know you guys are looking at the map right now.
Yeah, no, that's
Realistically, I probably shouldn't have showed that, but hey, yes, you guys do not have a map of the town as well.
That's cool. Esme is going to go up to the bar, just ask the human dude. She's like, "Hey, you have like a map, like a sightseer's guide to Orion or anything, knocking around back there?"
He's like, like leans on one, like his left hand, like on the elbow. It's like I might just like doesn't break eye contact with Esme, and just like brings up like kind of like a vase full of like pamphlet fold-up maps. It's like I might have one.
Esme just holds her hand out. Can I have one, please?
Of course, you one gold.
Yeah, it's like, okay, cool, 1 gold. She removes the 1 gold from her bag and just is like, there you go.
Yeah, he's like, hey, and just literally like, yeah, cool, here you go, and just slides the pot back on her. He's like, anything else you need, darling?
What's the mayor's name? Honey.
No, thank you, I'm sweet enough.
Do you have a name either? Are you the mayor? Am I talking to the mayor right now?
My name's Bertrand, but everyone calls me Birdie.
Oh my god. Do you know anyone by the name of Ernie?
His entire face grows like grim, as if remembering a genuinely dark time in his life, and he's like,
Esme starts clicking her
I
fingers
prefer
really
not to
quickly
talk
near the
about it.
side of his head. It's like, come on back, Bertie. I just had a question about the mayor. I don't know your life story.
he's like, so many screams. Anyway, yes, the mayor, Dolan Taylor. He's a charismatic individual, yes. Why are you looking for the mayor? You're ain't some weird assassin, are you?
I
'Cause,
mean,
hey, that'll make your room cheaper.
oh my god, talking about assassins, have you seen any strange men dressed all in black with weird magical dark energy hanging around behind them? Because I'm here to slaughter him in his sleep. Or her. Or them. I'm not sure who it is, but I'm coming for him.
He like leans low and he's like, hey. He's like, yo man, don't let me say that out loud. Come here.
Are you Richmond's contact? I'm sorry.
Does Esme lean in to hear him because he's very adamant, like, we have to whisper, this is just serious.
Oh yeah, no, she'll 100% do it.
He's like, I don't know who the fuck Richmond is, but please stop talking about assassins in my establishment. I don't want to die.
You brought them up first.
As a joke?
But don't turn around and tell me not to continue a conversation that you. Okay.
I don't
Okay,
think
we're gonna
children
pass
will be
over
on
this.
his heart.
No.
So just,
Bertie, we're moving on. Is there anything else that you can that you might suggest would be a good idea? I will also tell you why we're here now in a second. Is there anything else you could say is like sights to see in this town? Oh my god, here's a good question. What is the oldest part of this town? Like, what is literally the oldest place here?
damn, that's probably tied with this tavern. The fishing kind of like chunk of the area that harvests all what we like most of the sailors bring in. The mayor's building's pretty ancient actually, and a handful of the kind of like living areas. Very like Orion started off very, very tiny, but that's about it. I think the mages and we're calling them the mechanists now. I'm not sure if you've heard of them. They're kind of a weird bunch, but yeah, them. They're pretty old. I don't think they're the oldest though. I think it was very much the mayor, obviously, to establish a town and places to drink in Albatross. Fishing because we need food and money and like jazz. And yeah, no, I kind of like probably one of the houses. Really, I'd imagine. Not great.
Okay. Oh yeah, we're also here to kill giants. I believe there's other people killing giants. We want to help.
Oh
the
yeah,
giants.
the people killing the
Or trying to, failing
yeah,
to.
no, like yeah, like have you seen the docks yet? Like it's like a graveyard out there. It's wild.
No, we came here because we needed a drink.
Oh, are you? How long have you been in the city? You here long?
Like
3 hours.
Yeah, I think it's been a solid 15 minutes.
Oh, interesting. You guys should go check out the graveyard. It's crazy how many ships even are attempting to get out nowadays. It's wild. But yeah, killing giants. You'd probably want to go talk to the mayor or the city watcher. There was those weird cleric types who like live upstairs. They're asking about giants as well. Weird bunch.
Oh my god, clerics! I have this thing about clerics. I just always love talking to people about their personal faith. It's part of my own spiritual practice. I'm just wondering, are they upstairs now?
I'm not at liberty to discussion patient or confidentiality.
You literally just revealed that they do stay here.
Yes, I revealed where the mayor lives too. Like,
but he's a public figure. These are private, not even citizens. They're like travelers through.
It's just if you do kill him, don't kill him here, because
it's
blood's hard to get out of wood, man. It's like such a drag. I have to like get a scroll of prestidigitation. It costs like 10 copper. That's like a lot. That's like 7 glasses of that wine I just fed you. It's mad.
That I'm ignoring that last part. But look, if anything happens, Esme, like at a distance, just points towards Isadora. She's great at getting bloodstains out of things.
I know.
That's you know what is what was your name again?
Icarus Darrow.
Icarus. That's haunting. I don't want to know. I'm gonna go back into the kitchen and perform a little ritual of you were talking about faith earlier. My faith's back there. I'm gonna go do some of that, and then I'm gonna come right back.
Okay, have fun. Darren, can you put the mayor's name in chat, please?
Yeah.
I have had a lot of conversations since then.
Dolan something?
Dolan Toolin. Oh, there we go. I literally wrote Dolan like the meme duck.
Yeah.
I like it. Also, like when Esme kind of turns, the second Esme turns, he's gone. By the time Esme sits back down, he's returned, and he's definitely got a lot of white stuff around his nose.
Fucking drugs! Why? Why are we in Waterford? Why are we in Waterford?
I mean, I was going to interject, but I was like, no, Waterford think they're posh. They do coke, yeah. They're not down here with the heroin boys yet. They're all up there with the coke lads.
Wait, hold on. He's snorting heroin.
Yeah, Neil, you do know there's more to... I'm not even going to defend how I know this. You don't have to always inject
No,
heroin
like,
in
I know
face.
there's more than one way, but
Yeah,
it's
but
just,
it's-
I feel like
yeah.
that's the worst way to do that.
It's ironically enough the safest.
Okay, Esme returns to the table and she says, "Don't ask that guy about his friend Ernie. He gets a bit crazy. Also, there's the mayor. If we want to go and kill giants, we were told talk to the mayor or the watch." No, Ernie is not there. Also, I believe our cleric friends are upstairs. So I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna get up there. I just know we're gonna walk upstairs and then I'm gonna get tackled by a halfling woman. It's not even gonna be a fun tackle. It's gonna be a beat up tackle.
It's going to be like a wrestling move. Esme walks up and it's just like, Miriam with the suplex. It's like, wait, what?
Then, before, we get wrestled to the ground, why don't we go talk to the watch or something?
Yeah, let's go down to the watch. I like the watch. Let's walk through the market district. Let's buy some really nice things. Really nice and small things. Wait, hold on. Esme shouts to Bertie, we leave our stuff here.
Yeah, there's a say, yeah, hold on.
Leave our suitcases behind the counter.
Yeah, it's a case of, I have, a lockbox out back. It's pretty big. I can keep everything there and essentially mark it down on your guys', parchment or, order that it's, all your stuff's there. Is that cool? What are you planning on leaving? Essentially, it's, your stuff in quotations, yeah?
I mean, I'm not planning on leaving my stuff.
No, I mean, as in, the generic, my traveling stuff, my bedrolls and my, all that stuff.
I'm just gonna bring Henry with me.
Yeah, that's cool.
In case we buy anything.
See,
Yeah, it's a case
Also,
of,
we're
Bonnie's,
transporting giant parts.
yeah, Esme is going to leave her bag behind. Just because she's very much of the opinion that she was robbed already once. She doesn't want to get robbed twice. And now I also have this. I have this No, I know, but I also have this visual of being in the market and someone picking up Henry and running off with him.
Coda was a little lead on Henry.
It's not the lead, it's the bracelet.
What?
Did you even read Henry's description?
No!
Oh my god.
I know he's a chest who's like a dog and holds stuff.
I'm
Laura?
no, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm.
Laura.
Esme.
I don't have that document anymore because my laptop got wiped, so,
You have got to stop using that fucking excuse. Henry is bound to a bracelet that is around Coda's arm. He will stay with it. I believe the limit is something like 30 feet of him. And if that breaks, he'll just stay. He'll always go hunt out Coda to the point where although if Coda say leapt off a fucking cliff, he'll be like, ha, gravity, and walk off. He's not gonna put himself in harm's way. He's not confined by all the laws of robotics just yet. We haven't got there yet.
I'm kind of upset by how sentient he is sometimes. I've created some sort of weird dog life.
Nah, it's just an anime tongue, which isn't new. That's any old transmutation magic, and
it's fine.
No, he definitely follows the bracelet. So he's 100. Henry isn't sentient, guys. No.
Good.
Aaron, I asked Bertie, will my stuff be sent? And then I would like to insight whatever answer he gives me.
He's like, yeah, no. He's like, okay, yes, I'm for a bit of a rustic, home away from home bunch. But yeah, no, come on, we're not gonna go. What do you think we're going to throw your stuff? No, don't you worry. So roll that inside, baby.
Okay, now I really need this to be over 3, or I'm going to try for this session as well.
Okay.
Yes!
There you go.
It's gonna be fine. Like, him and Rian 100% are gonna scatter all your gold out on it and make out on it, but 110% intend to put it all back. Like, you're not gonna back to like all your shit's gone. They're just getting their kicks when they can.
She's keeping her like. She's giving herself like 500 gold to take with her to market, but she's leaving everything else behind. Being like, I just don't like carrying around all of this.
Yeah, no, he shows you really quick. Like, it's like, here's the big lockbox. Essentially, it's just a giant safe, and he, like, you see him put it in. He locks it, and he gives you the key. And he's like, I have a spare one just in case of emergencies. Like, if you lose that one, essentially. But yeah, no, I'll mark it down on your like. I keep going to say like bill/receipt thing that like you have some stuff in here. So whoever's working the night shift will like be like, hey, all good and hood. That's it.
Esme turns to Coda and says, Coda, you know your weird dog.
He's not a dog, he's a chest. What?
What happens when he eats things?
It's storage, like a bag of holding. Why?
Okay. Hey, dog. Open your mouth. It opens its mouth like, why was I programmed to feel pain?
Yeah, the chest opens.
Esme puts the key in the dog and then closes the dog. It's like, good dog. Coda, don't lose the chest because he's got all of my gold in him now.
I won't.
Okay, let's go to the watches this through the market.
Yeah, you guys essentially walk through the market, and it's nice. It's kind of like bustling. A lot of people are just kind of buying weird trinkets, and it's odd. There's a couple of like kind of like sailor look types being like, oh look, magical tricks from the sea itself. So it's very much like, is it magical? Is it not? I don't know. They want 200 golds for that tiny thing. But yeah, you pass through, and like you pass one or two watchmen, and they're just going about their day. They're just chatting, kind of like talking to one another as they're like walking their patrol, that sort of thing. For the people who weren't here, the watch colors are kind of like the armor underneath kind of varies. It used to be kind of a mixture of like chainmail, scale mail, and there is a couple of people more with like say bow and arrow on their back that kind of have like leathery straps underneath, but they kind of have like a cloth and like a tabard and a hood over it that kind of has like a paint knob to it, like more like the fabric itself seems to be like created. This kind of has like teal and green and blues and like very much like oceanic like look to it, but the way the cloth moves, it's kind of like as if like a wave, like kind of like a smooth, kind of like that kind of punch. It's very nice. It looks almost like the cloth is kind of perhaps a little bit enchanted, probably like a really fancy tail knob. You're not too sure, but kind of like at times when you look at it, it doesn't move, but like when you corner your eyes, it kind of the fabric's moving, just like a really like low frame rate gif of like kind of like a painting of the ocean. That's it. But yeah, that's the colors. But yeah, no, for real.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You were saying there's like little to no Hand of Uria presence here, right?
Correct. There has you guys going up and down the city, all the ways you have gone. There has been no Hand of Uria banners, persons, criers, propaganda, nothing. You guys again looking at the maps. The map that Esme has, and I'm assuming it's essentially you guys all have access to now. That sort of thing. You guys notice that there is a mages and a mechanist building on the ends of the city, but there seems to be no talk of unification. And again, Bertie just said there, it's like, oh, those weird mechanist folk. The people don't really seem to kind of like know, or maybe they do, but they just give a shit about unification kind of concept or like movement. So yeah, there'll be no Hand of Uria presence.
Oh, also, sorry, just something that we brought up last week when we were talking to Oswald and the others. Despite the fact that like the port has been devastated, like supplies aren't like being rationed or running out or anything like that. Like the market's really busy, and there's still like food for everyone and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't like this. That makes
I know there's something.
Yeah, because like Izzy said it. then Oswald was like, yeah. And then, like, as they were talking, he was like, oh, yeah, when you say it out loud, it does actually sound really weird. Kind of like, it's not that kind of weird thing you notice until someone points it out, and then you're just like, you can't unsee it. But he was kind of like, as the conversation with the others went on, it was kind of like, basically like, yeah, no, that's genuinely weird fucking, I don't know. Like, they seem stressed, like, why is that? But they're very much just trying to survive, man. Hey! Oh, yeah. You guys come. Neil, you spoke about going to the market. Do you want to buy things in the market, or is it just like we walk through the market to get to the watch for flavor?
Let's go to the watch first. I need to buy stuff later.
Oh yeah, no, that's cool. All right, cool. You guys come upon a town. No, you guys where you stand, a tall building, kind of actually like the building that's the icon, but like if it was kind of fatter, not more like a tower, but that kind of shit. It's got like those big chunky pillars on all four corners kind of thing built into the sides of the walls, and there is little struts top where like bowmen stand up, and like the sentries look kind of bored out of their tree. Chances are like no one, assaults the City Watch HQ or anything any day of the week, but like, they gotta have them up there. But yeah, as you approach, there's like two guards standing outside, kind of leaning on like halberd, like just chilling, mind their own business. When you guys on the corner, they're like, another day on the job, and then you guys are coming forward, like straighten up, kind of like, oh, they're actually intend to go in here, shit. They kind of have that like weary look of like, don't tell our boss. But when you go inside,
my supervisor.
Yeah, exactly. It was that. It was a case of like, it's like, oh shit, they're coming this way. But when you go in, it's kind of like a crescent shape. Yeah, kind of like a wide open area with doors on the inside. There's one front deck at the very back of the room, and I need to keep this open. I keep fucking minimizing it. A human man behind the counter, kind of slick black brunette hair and a brunette and a thick mustache with like twirly bits at the sides. Kind of looks a bit stocky and kind of like a heavy build thing, and probably looks like he could swing a hammer pretty easily. But yeah, he's kind of like just doing paperwork, has his head down. When you guys walk, kind of like nice stonework. It's not marble or anything, but it's just nice stones. Kind of a large open entry hall, so your feet kind of echo. And I'm assuming you guys proceed forward, so like it's a case of your feet echo, and like you can hear the footsteps ringing out, and like he kind of catches this and kind of like just like his eyes look up from his paperwork, and he's kind of like just happily riding away, and he wait guys to like approach, that sort of thing.
Oh,
good day. What can I do for you?
My name is Esme Nilo, and I'm here with my friends, and we've come to talk to you about some work. What is your name, good sir?
It's like, hello, Esme. My name is Zane, and what work specifically? We don't really have any like outsourcing values up. I know there's third party like citizens have jobs posted, but we don't necessarily. What job is this?
Oh, it's the killing giant. We've come to help with the giant problem.
His eyes wide. He's like, oh, yes, sorry, my apologies. We started taking down notices for that because, well, people took the job and they went into the hills, and, well, needless to say, didn't come back. So we kind of stopped doing that, and we're trying to go about it. You're here about the job?
Yes, the giant. We've come to kill your giant, sir. We just need to know as much information you can give us as possible.
It's like, all right. I'll give you brief overlay of what the boss can fill you in the specifics, but you see he kind of leans over and kind of like rings this little bell, and it doesn't kind of it rings out very gingerly, but like when it rings out, it's kind of like quiet, not like intruding or anything by any measure, but like kind of radiates, and you see arcane runes kind of ignite on it, and you kind of get the idea that it's probably signaling another version of itself somewhere. But yeah, he's like, yeah, essentially, well, you've probably been at docks and seen the graveyard. Ships are trying to leave, the giants, which we knew of, well, we had heard stories they resided in the hills and the mountains to the side of our city. For I don't know, well, we just kind of had a rough idea that they were there. And for the longest time, they didn't care about our existence, and now out of the blue, they just start attacking ships, and no one's been able to leave the port. And myself and several of the other watch had parties up into the hills before, but it kind of there's almost like a dismiss. It's almost I swear by it being magic. The mages say I'm insane, but it's magic fog without a doubt. And when we press to air, boulders just kind of land beside us with, like, as a warning, I guess. And we've lost a few watch members. The warning was very much them squashing one of us. So the further we press in, the more frequent the warning boulders get, and we kind of just we don't know how to go about it. It's impossible to navigate the fog. We just don't know what we're doing. So yeah, that's kind of the brief. And then you hear like a. Yeah. And as he's like, you hear like, I'll take it from here now. And he's like, oh, boss, and he turns and he gestures to like this really, really tall half orc, kind of like a really, really pale grey, almost sickly green grey, like all over, like big chunky tusks. Again, really like top heavy build, like. Definitely looks like he skips leg day kind of upper body build sort of thing. Like he's very much like, yeah, that sort of thing. And got no hair, bald, pointy ears, couple of scars all over his face, nothing crazy. And he's like, thank you very much, Zane. And he's like, please. And he like, kind of like just gestures you to like follow him down the hallway.
I will follow the man.
Yep. Yeah.
You guys are essentially led into it like an office, which just looks like a regular, chief of police commissioner's office kind of thing. Nice big, nice desk, some nice windows facing towards the ocean. Very nice, very scenic, and very prim and proper kind of thing. And he's like, well, I hear you're wanting to partake in this little giant quest.
Ooh. Yes. Sir, could we get your name?
Of course, my name is Boudin Chain.
Give me that name in chat. She says, well, sir, we would very much like to help you deal with your big old giant problem. We know some associates of ours were quite interested. They want to take, hoping to also help out.
Which ones? People, up and coming adventurers types. Thinking themselves
a tiefling and she a dwarf?
Dwarf. Yeah.
There's like a tiefling and a dwarf dressed in the holy garments of Pelor.
He was kind of like about this, like, and then when you're like the holy garments, he's like, oh, he's like that narrows it down. He's like, it's like, sorry, there's a lot of tieflings, Orion especially.
Also, also potentially a holy robot of Pelor, a holy warforged, a holy forged.
He's like, yes, I know the party indeed. Yes. They came to me some time ago. They expressed interest. I gave them the information I could. As far as I know, they left and came back, and I've certainly seen them walking around the streets, peering out the window occasionally. Like, we don't get many clerics of Pelor here, so seeing them walk around is like you can spot them quite quickly. But yeah, no, they took the quest quite some time ago, and well, they're still getting broke because essentially no one's. Well, there's a few mad who chance their arm kind of thing, and until we have confirmation that the giants have been slain or stopped, we can only assume that they are watching the coast and we can't sail back. The mayor is willing to offer a hefty sum of cash or gold. Sorry, I even hear the owner of the Albatross is in such a rage over the lack of business. It's a sailor's pub. I'm not sure if you've been there. That she's actually offered the deeds to her pub for anyone who can, fix the giant problem. Which, that's quite the reward. Sum of money from His Excellency, the Albatross. Or that's if she upholds her side of the bargain. She's a bit of a, and he like wiggles his hand.
Do you know the name of the owner of the Albatross?
Yes. Hold on, let me just preemptively copy and paste this.
So it's not Miriam.
Nope, it's Augustus Baltimore.
Oh my god.
Ah, yes. Gonna just wait until appear. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting.
Fastidious. Oh my god.
She's quite an odd one. A snow elf, I've been told, from Nullheim. Half, I believe, her father was of Orion descent. But yes, she's a charismatic character, to say the least.
Once the word Nullheim happens, Esme's eyes just kind of cross, and it's like, no, not now.
Not yet. Later.
she just gets the Kill Bill. She gets the Kill Bill sirens. It's just like, oh god, it's Lorian in disguise, isn't it? Esme is going to turn into Esme in Nullheim turns into Homer when they're hiring a nanny and they keep trying to rip off old lady's hair, thinking it's Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm not gonna lie to you, that's what's gonna happen. But yeah, Esme's like, that's an interest. I don't think I've ever met a snow elf.
So she's the only one I know of, but seems nice-ish.
Lovely. Friends, is there anything else you can think to ask?
When did this start? Like when did it start? Did anything happen to set them off? Like, what happened here? Why did it just start?
Honestly, we don't know what set them off. We've known some of the, like, there's records going back, dating quite a couple of centuries old, that certainly giants in the hills, like their markings or warnings in their language, not the hills, the trees, the stone itself. For the longest time, we've lived in, we've never seen head nor tail of them. And out of the blue, a ship got attacked, and we felt like it was pirates, trying to raid, because that's not unheard of. It hasn't happened in quite some time because Orion is so well. At the time, Orion was kind of like a little bit less defended, and the world was a bit more chaotic and archaic. But we're a bustling city. We do well. We've got nice defenses, and no one really kind of tries that sort of thing anymore. So we thought maybe it was just like a band of pirates either not getting the message or just chancing their arm. And lo and behold, a gargantuan arrow stuck out of one of the helms of the ship, and then another struck it, and then the entire ship began to sink. And from what I could tell, whoever was launching them was doing so with such accuracy that it was almost frightening. They were I've seen sailors swimming and dying down under, and these gigantic stone arrows striking the water, and just no one rises up until days later when the regretfully the bodies finally surface and we have to bury. It's great business. But yes, we know it's them because we know that there is tales of the giant archers who took down dragons many centuries ago, but also when more than one ship leaves, quite a lot of targets, so to speak. And when he says targets, he air quotes kind of thing. He's like, not just arrows fly, but boulders too, and we just tend to hurl boulders. It's kind of what the name is for, that sort of thing. So, and again, when we press forward into the hills to even establish contact, nothing. Just boulder warnings. It's kind of a pickle. The mayor has often said some of men and women into the hills on personal missions, directly from his office, and they see it as an honor because they probably get a good recommendation, a promotion, that sort of thing. Because the mayor's word carries a lot of weight in this city, as you'd imagine. And regretfully, they have gone to the hills and never returned.
So, no one who's come back alive has ever seen these giants.
That is correct. The only ones I know to have gone into the hills and survived, and I don't mean that in a bragging manner, I just quite literally mean myself and Zane out front as well, has led parties as well. We've gone in, we've seen warnings, the boulders land, and we don't want to antagonize them to the point, because where those boulders are all at buildings. So, because a couple of giants are pretty big. It's in the name. Well, again, we're only going off the records and notes that we have, and say the likes of the mages and stuff, they're old records. A giant could cross like instance that would take us quite some time to run with a couple of steps. So we want them to like get so antagonized they like attack the city because we don't have any defense against that. We can't catch boulders out of the air, especially at the rate that they can. Oh my god, why is this exploding? So it's a case of we just don't want to set off the wrong foot, so to speak, and then it's chain or snowball something terrible. So we've tried to source it, and we've approached large force, we've approached with small forces. Admittedly, small forces probably work better because it's easier to sneak by, that sort of thing. Like logically, a small number should work better. I know we've gone into the hill and came back. I know that the tiefling and those clerics you spoke of, they've attempted it, and I've seen them depart, and then I've seen them around me, so I can only assume that they like us, saw the warnings and pulled back. But I haven't spoken to them since. Yeah, so it's like I haven't spoke to them since, because it's not my job to follow up on these leads. I literally just, until you bring me the head of a giant, I don't care until they start bombing or throwing balls into city buildings. So it's a kind of a and he kind of like makes a scales with his hand. He's kind of like it's there's only so much I can split my force up. Like Orion's pretty not crimeless. We have crime, but like the reason why our low crime rate is so effective is because of what we do, and I don't. It's very tricky. So it's kind of in a pickle. Like supplies are running low. We're getting our backs are up against the wall. I'm not sure what we're going to do. We might have to. The mayor was talking about perhaps requesting supplies from the major city capital. They might be able to reinforce or something, but we're not too sure.
Speaking of supplies, actually, how are you keeping everyone fed? How are your markets still open if nothing is coming out of a port?
The port was our main source of income, but I've often wondered that too. But the merchant guilds assured me that trade comes in and out from the outside the city, and he gestures towards like where you'd know the entrance gate to be in. It's like we're probably outside when light came on. I was like, oh god, predominantly a trade city, and food comes in, and we check shipments every so often. Make sure there's no contraband. There isn't. We've caught some codex coming in a few times. We chalk it up to the honest hearts, crime ring, same old crap. Destroy fine, but for the most part, fruit just seems to flow into the city somehow. I've tried to answers, and merchants have just assured contacts from the neighboring cities, and some casters like mages and clerics can produce food out of thin air. So it must be that. I don't know. I don't really get paid to think about it, actually.
It's been lovely talking to you. I have one other question. Well, I'm sure my other associates might have one. Thing you have this information about, or no? Well, you say that there's stories of these giants shooting down dragons. Is there anywhere that we could go to look up more about the local history, like stuff like that might give us some clues? Is there anywhere we could go?
The Mages building, the Mages Academy that resides here, is often the archives of that. The mayor has a personal library and has ties to something. The public library is very much small. It's kind of like it's a weird hybrid with the Mage Academy. Some of it's locked off. You have to get recommendations from the mayor or be a member of the academy. But you could try the academy, or you could go directly to the mayor and plead your case. He might be feeling generous today. I don't know.
Actually, I thought I had my last thing to say there, but I have one more thing. The reward for doing this. Can you communicate to those people that we are planning to do this? Can you quickly make sure the mayor and also the owner of the Albatross know that 4 jerks have walked into the Watch HQ and they think they're going to do it?
Uh-huh.
We could die and nothing could come of it. Equally, I just want to know that we could pretend whatever rewards do come our way, it would be nice that we get them when we arrive.
Yeah, he's literally just writing out. It's 4 jerks. He's like, all right. He's like, I'll dispatch one of my keys and let the mayor know you're coming, and let Baltimore know you mean business. But again, yes, naturally, if you don't show up, we'll just assume you're bodies have been destroyed by the giants.
Cool.
I think that sounds great. Coda, anything to ask?
No, he's like good.
Well, Commissioner Chain, we bid you good day, and we will return soon with a giant head.
Yeah, he gestures to her, kind of like, yep, toodle pip.
Guys, let's go and find the clerics.
Isadora says into the ring, maybe it's not giants. Like, nobody's seen them. There's nothing that they weren't like provoked or anything, and the only signs that they existed. That doesn't mean that they exist up there right now.
I agree. Wholeheartedly. I think we should speak to our trusted confidant,
Yeah.
the Torchbearer. But something up there is doing it, so let's go up there and undo it and be like, hey guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I agree. There's something about the way it's happening that doesn't seem to be 100% giants. Also, I've come to the conclusion about the food coming in, that this would just primarily be people sneaking food in and out of Uriel. And like, other than like the regular trade, chances are it's being supplemented by people who can like get into Uriel or like something similar, like with those chalk doors and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Where go, what do, friends?
I need a rapier. Find me a weaponsmith.
Well, let's go to the market, and after that we can look around for the torchbearers.
Cool. 1 sec.
He shoots one of the Pelor arrows into the sky. It's like,
Just a question
Pelor,
about
shoot my friend! Find them!
stats wise. Can you use dex with a longsword, or is that only strength?
Nope. Longsword is strength based.
Okay.
It is not finesse weapon.
Yeah, I'm kind of sick of rapiers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my least favorite thing about dex based cards, is that like 9 times 10 you end up with a rapier, and it's just like.
It's like, do you want a short sword? It's like, sure, you're gonna do D6. It's like, well.
Yeah,
That's
like I
why-
just take the D8. Yeah.
It's why I low key want to play like variant human and go full strength and take the dual wielding feat with them, because you don't have to. You can dual wield things that aren't like, but are not two-handed or heavy. So you could arguably use 2 long swords if you just have the gold straight away, which is pretty fucking neat. Which is 2d8 round at level 1, which is rock and roll, and also just aesthetic as fuck. Hashtag that's what Harkin is. Anyway. Neil, Esme, Dungeons and Dragons suspension of the. You come on a table, a merchant, a hunched over dwarf is like, look upon my wares. And there's certainly a nice rapier there. It's pretty spoofy looking.
1 sec. Is there anything else anybody else is looking for? Just for like 2 seconds. I just want to check.
Well,
Oh yeah, 100%. Like throw in your shopping list and we can do that kind of thing.
I was gonna say something, but it definitely doesn't exist, so never mind.
No one.
Yeah, I'm curious how what.
I was gonna look for like it's too specific. A shield you don't have to hold in your hand, like something you could attach to your wrist,
like a buckler?
like a buckler, like a yeah. What's a buckler? Is that?
It's strapped to your wrist,
Oh yeah,
or like your forearm.
yeah. Is there one of those?
Bucklers are tiny.
Yeah.
Probably
Do
wouldn't
they
have
offer a
defense.
bonus to AC?
No, they're tiny.
Well,
I think
fuck it.
Like typically, I've only ever seen them used to deflect blades incoming. It's very much like you use them in
Is
junction
there like
with a
that,
sword.
but big and would give me a +2 to AC?
Does Coda have 18 strength?
Nope.
Then no.
He
Because
nearly
there's no
does.
way
He
to
has
hold-
close to 18 strength.
He does. He is a noodle. But
He has
no,
11. That's pretty close.
That's 7
Nice.
more. You're fine. That's only 11. But there is not. Sorry.
What about like a really lightweight giant buckler?
No,
Oh,
that's
I'm
a
never gonna
shield,
find
Laura.
this.
Standard shield.
Okay. Do you have any
Esme,
really big guns?
no, because they don't exist in this world. Because not everyone made a deal with a demon to make it legit. Oh gosh. But Esme, just throwing this out there, your rapier will cost you 25 gold. The one that you're looking at, anyway, the nice one. It looks like it's really good quality. Surely someone else did. Nope. Literally only Coda. So Coda, Esme, Risbet, Izzy, what would you like to shop? It's just for argument's sake. I'm not gonna say you mean Jim the gunsmith. It's just a case of you find a trade that has what not within reason anyway for what people are looking for. This is how much it costs.
I mean, I don't need she'll look around see if there are trinkets or something, but she doesn't need anything.
Oh, you can always roll on the tables. That's the thing.
Okay.
Cool. Would you be regular trinket table or gothic?
Fuck it, let's go gothic. That's some weird sea shit.
Yeah, for sure. Let me just get that bad.
Yeah, I'll go for gothic as well while you have it open. Also, I'd like to see how much a health potion is.
I believe the lowest ones are 50 gold.
Yeah,
I'll take one of those.
They're expensive.
We got $2 grand off someone recently though, so I'll take the 50 gold health potion. I think I had one already. I gave. Hang on, which potions did I give to you guys? I had 3 minor healing potions. I gave one to Izzy and one to Esme because we were fighting that.
All right.
Dude.
Yeah, Coda. I think we will probably just load up on some rations. Yeah. Essentially, I always run it's 1 silver, 2 silver. Your rations replenish. Coda, you find a hunched over, equally spindly merchant who's health potion, 60 gold! And you find a trinket merchant who's 2 gold! And then you can roll D100 if you want.
Cool.
Can I try and haggle him down to 2 for 100?
I mean, attempt a persuasion check. And also, Esme, declare if you're taking it. Yeah, he'll give you 2 for 100.
Nice.
Well, for a
No, I'm saying if you're taking that rapier, the really nice one, that just looks like a standard rapier, it's 25 gold.
What kind of person is that sitting behind the table?
Hunched over dwarf man.
Says, my good dwarf friend, do you think you have anything more elven in style? Essentially, Darren, what I'm going to put to you is I have what is essentially a rapier, but it's just a curved blade instead.
Oh, yeah. 100%. He's I'll see what I can do. And he looks down on... Essentially, he's I'll check the back. And looks through a chest and brings it out, and it's kind of very much elven. It kind of looks like elven style, but if certainly a dwarf made it, it's kind of a bit more clear edge, not clear edges, straight edges, the curves, but there's a curve. It's very nice. But yes, it's very much
literally, it's just for the aesthetic of I am sick of thinking of long pointed swords.
Yeah, 100%.
Something more pirate, like a scimitar, but does 1d8.
It's it looks like a scimitar, but we don't care.
Yeah. She also says, I want a whip, please.
Oh, I have one of those. I never use it. You can have mine.
Okay. Are you giving me your Coda?
Yeah, he'll hand her this whip that he's had since fucking level 1 he's never used. So yeah, he'll just give her that.
Esme cuts off the end with her new curved sword, and she hands the man her money, and she will also buy a trinket.
Roll for it. Coda, 2 gold for the trinket, and you get a cylinder that looks like a piece of parchment. Do you open it?
Hell yeah.
And behold,
It's Anthem. You're dead.
Yes, in this cylinder is a piece of parchment. Upon the parchment is a drawing you did as a young boy of your imaginary friend.
Ooh.
That is terrifying!
Creepy.
And I put it in my pocket and never think about it again.
Ooh, Esme. You put your hand in the burlap sack of trinkets. This merchant is you pull up, it's really heavy. You're what is fuck? It's like a head or something. You pull up this noose, and it's really heavy, and you're oh.
Esme happily puts that happily puts that around her waist and she's like, I can think of some people who are going to fill this noose.
Do you want to roll for over here, buddy?
Actually, can I throw that into the chest? I was like, here, take this.
Sure, buddy. Oh yeah, sorry, I just assumed everyone was rolling on Gothic. Yeah, 1d100. Thank you very much. Ooh. Rizbit puts his hand into the bulb sack after giving over his 2 gold. He pulls out a small toy, a spinning top. When you spin it, it can land on one of 4 faces: happy, sad, wrathful, or dead. Yeah.
Rizvi keeps getting like weird, like potentially like fate-changing trinkets.
Yeah, like highly ominous things.
Like yeah, definitely means something deep and scary.
Yeah, it's like, this is a secret too. It'll come up later.
like his dice
Yeah,
that can ruin the world.
Guys, that's the trinket merchant kind of like bids you adieu unless you want to reroll again. But where go, what do, as they say.
One last thing, can I also buy a longsword?
Yeah,
I have
believe
one. I have
they're
one, you
like
can have it.
30 gold.
Fuck's sake, or why do you...
We got some last week from the bandits who robbed us. They had a Hand of Uriah longsword.
It is worth
No.
noting that one carries the insignia and style of the Hand of Uriah.
Yeah.
True.
But the crossguard has the Hand of Uriah sigil on it.
Esme was gonna... Esme just...
So, Esme, you stole a load of long swords, remember, from the shop that you blew up?
I thought I just stole the arrows. No, I stole one of the longswords.
You stole
Oh,
the
there you go,
really
then.
nice, shiny new longswords.
Hey, so I forgot about that in time. Esme,
I like to think Esme's leaning over this tiny merchant and is just like, wait a second, I stole things! And walks off and they're like, but you don't want the sword?
No, but I might come back with some other swords for you. Goodbye. Go to your dog again.
He starts cleaning up the longsword off the floor.
But yeah,
Eat the longsword, Henry.
where go, what do?
Let's just hang around the albatross until the guys come out. No, let's go to the graveyard at the docks. Let's go and actually investigate.
Yes, let's actually investigate the thing we said we would.
Cool, you guys make it. You pass a city watchman with a second city watchman. A very like dodgy looking individual with a heart. You're not sure if it's tattooed or drawn on their cheek. Walks past in manacles. The two of them are kind of shoving them forward, kind of like, you know what you did, kind of thing. But as you approach, you see that like there's a lot of ships still in, are docked up. A lot of the areas where you would dock your ship are empty, and in the distance, a couple of maybe 150 feet out from the dock is just a graveyard of ships. Like you can see bits of helms, just as if they were split down the middle, and like a few of them here what might be shallower ground, or might be you can see like what juts out like large stone arrows, like the edges of them. But yeah, it's quite the docks are fine. A few people seem to be like living on ships, kind of thing. It's like, well, we can't, it's just easier to sleep on the ship, kind of thing. And it varies from very respectful ships to quite clearly they are 100% pirates when they're on the ocean, kind of thing. They look really dodgy and meh. But yeah, do you guys just want to get have a gander and then to the albatross, or is there anything else you want to do?
Which direction are the hills?
Northward. You guys are kind of here.
Cool. And what can we see of the hills from where we currently are?
The hills start out quite literally like that. Like near here is kind of it's not on the map, but it's city walls, and there's maybe 2 feet of distance, and then there's kind of just small hills, and then you get larger hills and kind of a bit convoluted. There's woodlands. Not the hills have eyes, Neil. It's kind of wooded area, and then in the and then in the distance, it's people would call them hills, but it's probably more accurate to say it's pretty much mountain range near the back. And like you can see, like there is a little bit of like kind of a fog around it, like just like generally around it.
Darren, looking over the wreckage of these ships, like, can we determine? I know we're told how, but can we determine like how they were destroyed? Like, does it seem like they all like the methods of their destruction all came from these hills?
Give me an investigation roll.
Yeah.
My attempt to help her?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe don't roll yet.
Okay.
Can I also try to help if Esme
Yeah.
doesn't? Yeah, it's fine.
Vantage.
Yeah, ooh, nice, well done. Great rolls all around, friends. A lot of them, for the most part, a lot of the debris, like angle of the ships and like the destruction, certainly seems that like a large force came the direction of the hills and mountains and kind of like plunged into it and caused like a shatter or break. A few of them look like the force came straight down on them, but like you can see around those kind of ships, there is kind of like a tiny mound peeking up over the water that kind of like a boulder. Yeah, like if it plopped down more so than an arrow piercing through, but it all does seem to be legitimately coming from the angle of the mountains and hills.
Okay. Is there anyone around this area?
Apart from the people like sitting around like on their ships, and like a few people seem to be kind of coming and going on their daily lives, just taking the dock route. But are you looking for anyone specific or anything, or is it more just?
No, not really. Just to see, like, this place like as busy as the rest of the town?
No, it's more the majority of the business comes from like the ships where people are clearly set up shop and like we're here until this gets fixed kind of thing. They're all kind of like, makeshift tents and stuff up on top of, like on top deck, and a few people carrying pictures or like, just kind of like coming and going to work, but just seem to be taking the dock side route.
Okay.
Where to, friends?
If we've been wandering around for a couple of hours now, our rooms in the Albatross should be ready.
Correct. Yeah, they would. They want to return.
Yeah, the guy does. And doesn't have anywhere else they want.
Let's go
No,
there.
no, I'm good to the
Okay. Yeah, cool. You're to the Albatross. There's a few more patrons. A half-orc female working behind the bar. You see the man you know to be Bert occasionally walking around and handing he seems to be waiting on tables this evening. And see in the corner of one of the booths is a familiar tiefling and dwarf, clearly like enjoying a drink and kind of sharing the equivalent of like a basket of chips. That's
Esme just swans over and loudly exclaims, "Fancy seeing you here!"
Hi!
Sits down.
Yeah, no, Isidore will also sit down and interrupt them.
Wrath is 100% like a pull on his smoke, and he's like, "What the?" Like I'm like, "What the?" And like Grace is like, "Holy shit!"
So you're alive. That's good to know.
Yeah, same with you.
Just barely, a giant dog chased out of your area.
He's like, well, giant dogs, weird deserts. It's no one ever it will be a bandit that does it in one day instead of some, arbitrarily creature or something.
Yeah, that sounds right. How's life, Orion?
How's Trick?
Oh, trying to get busy living or get busy dying, and they kind of gesture over to Coda and Risbon, and they're like, "Are they going to sit down or just awkwardly stand over there being weird?"
Coda, you're being awkward.
We sit them on our laps.
It's of like there's that room if you guys scoot in kind of time of like the gesture over, and I'm assuming people sit down. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, no, we've been doing odd jobs here and there. Healing the optic, skirt is kind of like oddly popular with docked ship. Yeah, no, they're filthy individuals, and Grace is like, chewing chips like dogs. Fucking disgusting, man. Jeez, they're like animals. But yeah, no, we tried to do that giant thing. We're trying to. We keep trying, but it's just not going well. It's really funky. It's just yeah, they are creepily accurate at throwing giant boulders that could probably crush you in one go. It's terrifying.
Well, the good news is we're here to help. So,
Well, that's good. We have a theory actually on how we could do it. It's just myself, Wrath, and Vigilance are kind of at it. But if you could sneak, like quietly creep through the underbrush, they might not see coming. Because I'm pretty sure, no one floating around has fog vision. So I'd imagine if you could creep well enough, you could probably get the drop on them, but you breach the lines well enough that like throwing boulders is what's the word? Then Wrath is like ineffective, and ineffective. That's the one. Thank you, dude. And he's like, and like they're just sitting under like tankards of ale kind of thing. And like, yeah, no, other than that, it's just like, yeah, we've been trying to go out, but we're no good to anybody dead, and there's kind of only 3 of us. And despite being a shrine of what's the one? Espen, there doesn't seem a lot of clerics in the city, so we kind of like got that thrust upon us. We've been working with the city watch a lot, like healing wounds from like stabbings and muggings. Just kind of tidbits pulling our weight, but equally it's like very. And like she's like, oh no, it's fine work, it's good work, it's good, it's doing the Lord's work, And then Wrath kind of rolls his eyes, and it gets like it's too small. It can't go from what we did in that fort to that siege, to that desert, to the siege here, and be content with, wrapping tiny knives that realistically don't need healing. It's just like, you put a bandage on it, baby. And she's just like, you don't have to put it like that. And he's like, it's the truth.
well, look, tell us what it's like going up the hills. Like, what can we expect the more we go on?
Well, it's a day's hike, at least, till you get to kind of like giant territory, and they both air, they say that, kind of thing. And then when you'll know when you're in giant territory, you'll see like the boulders, you'll see the army of boulders from all the warnings they've clearly given over the years, and also like just the giant etchings on the rocks, stones, and trees. Very nice, but like honest as well. It's about a day's hike, like a fog begins. We pressed on pretty deep into the fog, and like no word of a lie, like a boulder like crashed down like 2 feet from me, and it was terrifying. And we were walking blind. We had torch. We've tried it without torches. It's just we just need to be quiet, and being quiet is something we're not good at, I'm afraid. So that's why we're kind of because we want to help, but we are grossly like not the people for the job. We thought we would. We thought good force would do it, and like Wrath grins at her saying this kind of thing. They definitely like the more they speak, they're kind of like they're definitely been drinking a bit longer than they're letting on. And she like Grace is like, yeah, because like I've got a big hammer, he's got a big sword, and like Vigilance has got that shiny sword. Like we thought like a bit of rag and dagum brute force. Maybe that's the answer when you get up there, but getting up there, that's the issue.
Where is Vigilance?
Well, she usually just kind of rests a lot in the evening. She's like, I think she went to bed, and Rat's like, yeah, no, she retired upstairs quite like maybe like an hour ago or something. Does her thing and kind of goes and says the prayers and goes to bed early kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, it's just what she does. She's not really a sit down in the bar and drink kind of person.
Okay.
And they're like, what about you? You guys look like you sneak a little.
I think we could
Aww. Like half.
Wiggly hand.
I think when we go, we're probably going to be in a fairly good nick. I think we should try and... Esme just turns to the others. I think first thing tomorrow morning we should at least go up and make an attempt. And the worst thing that can happen is boulders start flying. We're really
Crushed
bad
to
at
death.
it.
It just painful, slow, crushing to
Oh my
death.
god!
So much
Having
agony
psychic-
and just slow death.
Esme just starts touching the side of her head. I'm having a psychic moment. Coda's being upset for no reason. Oh!
Hey, Timras, is there we can like get more information about the place, and Isidore's doing that thing where she's like leaning forward and sticking her hand in everyone else's face.
As like Esme and Coda have this moment, Izzy's like, "Hey guys," they're just like, "Oh yeah," and they haven't taken their mugs away from the mountain. Like, "No, we haven't missed this bit of it."
Yeah.
And they put it down, and then they're like, "Have you been to the Watch Commander? He's a very straight shooter, but he's got good information. We tried to get to the maze and the thing, and they weren't. Apparently, us being clerics was offensive. They really didn't like us. It was fucking irritating. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's because like, the arcane and whatever. Anyway, politics doesn't matter. Like Grace is like, like it's clearly like you see a flash of anger across her like face, kind of like a red flash, and then stops. So like, well, her skin darkens a little. No, anyway, and Wrath kind of like grins at her, and she's like, the mayor's an odd sort. He talks really weird, but he gave us a bit of backstory. Apparently, the city, like, was always here. The giants were like, people have known about the giants for like it's public knowledge that the giants exist within reason, but like no one's kind of really seen them or heard tales of them. So loads of people didn't. They kind of just died out. But according to the mayor, who again uses sources of like the mages, because the mayor where he wants, apparently stone giants don't. Like, old age ain't exactly a thing for them. Like, they can live for thousands of years if they like take care of themselves, kind of thing. And that's like,
So
well,
you right now, is it you right exercise?
Yeah. It's maybe 1,000, but like at least 1,000 if they know what they're doing with themselves, kind of thing. So I don't think they're immortal. I'm pretty sure, like, if you like kill them, and she like air quotes kind of thing, they die. But I think old age isn't exactly necessarily a worry of the immortal, like the timeless, beings from the stone sort of thing. But she's like, yeah, as far as I know, they're meant to be nice, but evidently they're very vexed because, and she's like, I'm assuming you've seen the graveyard, so yeah, all signs point to them being grand. So they, like, someone's clearly pissed them off, and we don't know where, don't know why. Mayor's tried to send convoys, emissaries, ambassadors, whatever you want to call it, up to the hills. None of them come back. And the city keeps getting kind of slightly more populating, and the boats aren't going anywhere, and it's just very weird. And we've tried our best, but again, we're not good at sneaking, and we'll, realistically, we're meant to help the people first, and if we can stay alive but cure the wounded, we technically have to put that first. And we do, but we want to help, but we can't risk it. Like, you're walking blindly in fog, you can see about 10 feet in front of you, and then all of a sudden crash, all ground tremors, and and then or it's like, yeah, if you have them out like I did, like, it's nearly impossible to keep your footing up, kind of like, it's awful. Really not ideal. So our best bet, we've been racking our brains in this for weeks, and we think sneaking is the best thing, but we're trying to save up for stealth, like invisibility potion. That'll help. There's a couple of alchemists around, but not cheap there. And naturally, clerics don't exactly make a lot of money healing the poor, so it's a very slow process. But hey, you guys are here now, so
I have an idea.
Shoot.
Esme, she's just kind of like, she looks a bit tired, and she just says, if we can get someone to part with a dinghy, something shit, some boat that does not matter, we just push it out into the bay. Or, in fact, our friends, and she points to Rathing, our friends push it to the bay, while we try to sneak up into the hills. We can distract them. I feel like we can talk to every person in this town, and we're going to get the same information, or something slightly different each time. But I feel like we won't know what we're up against until we fit.
Yeah, we need to go check this out for ourselves.
I think it's more important that we attempt. Plus, Rizbit can fly now, so. Also, you've got those gloves. You could probably shatter a boulder, like mid-air. Think about how cool that would be. Also, I can teleport,
would
so the
look
only
pretty
person who's
cool.
at risk of dying is
Yes, but
Toad.
debris would scatter and probably injure us slightly.
Well, better a slight injury than being like fucking murderized by a boulder.
When like when you guys are talking about like the dinghy and like Wrath is like, he's like, oh, that's great. Yeah, I do that. Yeah, and like Grace is like, yeah, we could definitely push a boat out. Yeah, let's do that.
Esme produces from someplace on her body. I feel like every time she produces money, she produces it somewhere else. So it's her boot, or it's her like between her like in her cleavage, or it's under her hair. Like it's kind of everywhere.
Like she pulled out the money from anywhere, but it's always covered in boob sweat. No one knows why.
But it's like a very intricate system of pulleys that just pulls it from the bag that's on her hip. And it just still has to come up through her shirt. Everything.
Neil, I didn't realize you write for anime TV shows. Good lord.
Esme has those bulletin boobs.
Yes.
No, she's like, we need like. It does not like it needs to be literally nothing. It actually needs to look as inconspicuous as possible. We don't need to send a ship. We need to send something that would be harder for them to hit, but they cannot afford to let it go, so they have to focus on it. So I think 50 gold to be enough to get that, and then the worst thing that happens is we waste our chance, or someone turns around and says they want more money.
Grace and Wrath look at each other and it's like, we could use the side money we have for the invisibility potions, or like basically pay someone for a little dinghy and stuff it with like a dummy or something, like a training dummy.
Esme is still going to give them 50 gold, and then she says, whatever you have to pay in excess of that, let us know, we can pay you back.
Yeah.
Because
and she's like, oh, it should be fine, guys. Like realistically, it's like we want to help, and like us putting like some of our money towards the dinghy is pretty much our hand in the pot, because I'm assuming once you go past the defenses, it'll be not smooth sailing, but it'll be better sailing. And perhaps if you're distracting them with that, we could come up behind and bolster defenses, that sort of thing.
Also, just even sending a dinghy out will show us like what their threshold is for attacking. Like, is it all boats? Is it just the bigger trading boats? This is the chance to find out.
They nod and it's like, I'm pretty sure it's all, but I agree. It's worth testing the waters.
You guys have been doing hard.
Space is like, okay, I'm going to have 2 more glasses of wine, then I'm going to go to bed. And then I'm going to get up in the morning, we're going to go on a little adventure. She says, she does ask Grace and Wrath, is like, how long does it take to get the edge of fog?
Pretty much, if you leave at say 9 in the tomorrow morning, you would probably get, it's a day's travel. So I'd say by 11 the next day, you would maybe, depending on how slow, if you're like kind of feel like taking a smaller or a more sort of cautious walk, you'd probably get 11 the next day, kind of thing. Because those hills are steep, and we've no idea how long the fog is. It's just we know you get to the fog, and they're like warning mark after a day's hike into the woods of the hills, like a day of straight hiking, sleep, and so on.
Yeah. Okay.
So would the dinghy be like pushed out when we get to the edge of the fog? Is that
I
the
think
idea?
so. Yeah, Wrath is like, no, yeah, that's what I was about to say. And we'll wait a day till roughly around midday-ish, and we'll send a dinghy. Does that seem, if you guys are up for that, you guys depart at 9 in the morning, kind of thing, and we do this properly?
Yeah.
Grace pulls a face. It's like, no, and then Wrath is like, hey, fine. It's like, oh well, I guess we can't get fucked up tonight then.
I like how they're just living in this town. I like that they've retired. I like how
They retired to a seaside community to get drunk every day.
Like the last time we saw them, it was we have to survive this arid desert no matter what. Now it's like, that's just strange.
We live on a beach and drink like tequila all day. This is our lives now.
Esme downs 2 glasses of wine.
Yes, right. So, hey, you guys, like, you know, if people want to like eat dinner, they eat dinner. People eat drink, they drink. It'll add to your tab, sort of thing. We can tally. But yeah, you do that. You sleep. Everyone has like, unless people want to sneak out at night. I'm going to assume people have like, you know, a nice sleep. The beds are fine. The rooms are spacious enough for 2 people. It's, you know, it's not luxurious, but it's certainly not cramped or, you know, cracked den. But you sleep. It's the next morning. It's 8:30. Drinks a lot. He's not loving the idea of being murdered by giants. That's fair. Coda, you have like a smidge of a hangover when you wake. Not that it's going to like impair your like ability roll. So it's more just but yeah, cool. It's the next morning. We'll break for 5. Come back in 5, and we'll up into the hills.
Cool, perfect.
Are we waking, breaking, fasting, and then the plan is set? We descend into the hills, and he'll ask thoughts, plans.
Are all of the in the morning? Are all the torchbearers seeing us off?
Yep, all 3. Vigilance is all like, oh my god, like, you know, hugs are all around, and you know, Grath is their ship name. Grath, yeah, Wrath and Grace are a bit like more like kind of like their traditional stoic selves. They're kind of like not as
trying to mask the fact that they're very hungover.
Oh yeah, 100%. They're not as loosey goosey as they were the night before because they had definitely been drinking far too much. But, you know, look, it's great to see everyone, hugs all around, that kind of thing. Does the same. Ask what?
So they're going to organize the boat.
Yes, they are. Like by 11 tomorrow, the ship will be into the docks. You know, it'll be pushed out. It's like, hey, we're on the road again, kind of thing. It's a case of like everyone's like, okay, break. You know, that sort of thing. Like, everybody, let's do the thing. You know, the guards wave you off as you leave. They're like, oh, you know, beach it, careful.
Head for the hills.
100, friend. Gonna say, Amy, you have to roll it because you were literally the last person. Okay.
Neil didn't do it last time because we were on the road.
I want to summon dinosaurs.
I'm sorry, the dinosaurs aren't on. We're in a different locale.
This is a high number, and I feel like that's a bad thing, so I'm really into it.
Oh, what is this?
You rolled an ant cake. It's literally crawling out of the sea towards you, Esme.
7,000 Tarasques.
This is some this is some Dogorama from fucking Monster Hunter shit, please.
A party of giants descend from the hill. I was like, oh, we've summoned them to us.
Oh, it was giant.
Also, I'm calling it now. There's no giants. There's giant catapults that are being operated by...
no, it's not giants. Nobody's seen giants. The giants are an excuse.
It's Warforged. It's Warforged.
Hey, no!
Down, it's Warforged.
No, that's rude. That's racist.
Like ancient awoken Warforged.
No, it's not a giant one. I am putting money down that it's like a community of Warforged that are hiding out in the fog. Like in the Rest or something, you're just hiding out there, and they don't want people coming closer because the hand of Uriel.
Why would they stop anyone from leaving Orion, though?
Maybe water is their natural enemy. I don't know. I feel like there's some reason that we don't know, but it could be. I think it could be.
I think you're wrong.
Yeah, well,
I don't think it's Warforged, but it
I
could be
think the
Warforged.
race card, Amy.
I will if you're going to continue to be a racist about it.
Moving on from that fucking TNT lined topic, the first day is grand. You're all sound. It's around 5 in the evening when you finish hiking through the mountains, passing through wooded areas, and you see remnants and like markings of wildlife is clearly here and present and flourishing. around dinner time, you're like, should we? No, we should probably press on. The ground like trembles, and a large creature slams down into the ground. 4 legs, really long, almost like kind of like a whale's mouth, but as if made of stone. Roars, and your ears are like quaking. It's like, motherfucker, like, the screen blurs. Initiative, please.
Wait, describe it again?
It's got 4 legs. Looks like it's made of stone. Its mouth is really large and like kind of like a big underbite, really wide, massive mouth, almost like a whale's mouth, but as if made of stone. The it kind of has like armadillo, kind of like that kind of hard, scaly.
Oh my god!
Underbelly.
I think I know what this is.
But yeah, they are #fun. And they are large, and they are pissed.
We didn't do anything. Just walking. You got a problem with people walking?
They do, because you're alive, and they don't like that.
Oh, well, that's their problem.
Right, it's its go. It is going to charge Esme, and it's going to bite at her. Oh.
Esme, kill her now! Also, I have full HP, not like the bar set.
Well, not for long.
Esme, you take 49 slashing or piercing damage as this thing like comes down, grabs up some dirt as it like reefs down and bites into it.
I'm gonna use uncanny dodge as my reaction to turn that into half.
Yeah.
Cool. This thing is going to do one more thing. It incurs an opportunity attack from Esme, so you may roll.
Yeah, she's gonna get out her brand spanking new longsword, and she's gonna to attack it with it.
This thing leaps into the air like a 50-foot arc and comes crashing down on it. Coda, can I have a strength or dex saving throw? Your choice.
That's a 10.
You take a total of 20 damage. My apologies, 28 damage. 14 bludgeoning, 14 slashing, and you are knocked prone and knocked 5 feet back, essentially out of the single square. Oh, and yes, you did need. I just saw that there. Can you roll damage, please? Nice, 15. As this thing, this thing leaps up, Esme brings her sword up to meet it and kind of curve, slices through its underbelly, causing solid hit. This thing roars both from anger and determination to struggle, equally from pain of getting its underbelly slashed open. With that, it is now Esme's go.
Esme is going to drop her curved sword, and she's going to take out her bow instead, and she's going to fire. Hold on. I think the creature is Coda is prone, yeah?
Yeah.
It is indeed prone.
Curse your prone heart, Coda. Ismay's going to attempt to fighting this beast.
Oh, hold on, you're going to wait. I got a phone call in 1 second. Yes, roll.
What civilized person calls a person at 11 o'clock?
I took 49 damage earlier, yeah?
You halved it, didn't you?
Yeah, but it was 49.
It was 49, yeah.
Good.
Not ideal, guys. I'm on half health already. Esme, I assume, was far below half. Although you halved it, so you're not so
No.
bad.
Had I taken full damage, I would be on 6 health.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Ah, damn.
49, 50.
What?
It would
I
have been
keep
less.
forgetting I have that indomitable thing where I can reroll a saving throw. I could have used that on that one.
You sure do.
I have literally never used it. I've had it for... Oh, I got it at level 9. We're level 9 now, so...
Apologies, friends. Neil, you rolled your deception?
12. Well, it's my insight versus its deception.
Sorry, apologies. Yeah, -2. You succeed.
Cool. And then I'm going to attack with my Pelor bow. Good.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Is it rogues who at some level get like a 19 as a crit? Or am I thinking of someone else?
Some class definitely does. I think it's...
A lot of
It's
times
the
too.
fighter.
Oh yeah? Oh, cool.
I think it's... Is it the champion? It's something
Yeah.
like that.
No, I know I get at like level 17 or something, but like, not yet.
Can I also take my whip out of my offhand?
Yeah.
I'm gonna whip this beast. But it's the end of my turn.
Coda.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you say anything. Sorry. Okay, I'm still in this thing's like range, right? Like 5 feet.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe you got a crit one and you're going before me.
I know it's not very fair. I'll stand up. I'll stand up and stab this thing with my rapier. Well, I'll try to.
Strikes.
Nice.
That's 23. Not bad, actually. That's. I'm not gonna take an opportunity attack from this thing. I'll stay where I am.
Why is your rapier 2d8?
I hit twice, didn't I?
I'm sorry, my screen only has one roll.
Oh, sorry. There was a 17 and a 21.
Oh, okay. So okay, now it makes way more sense. For some reason,
Yeah,
I just
they
had
both hit.
21.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, cool.
yes, both hit. 17 just strikes. Isadora, you're up.
She is going to turn in the direction of this thing and clap her hands. Does 22 hit?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like that. 2d8. Oh, that's only a 6. So what I'm going to do is move in this direction and give Bardic Inspiration to Esme.
Nice. This thing is looking pretty worse for wear, guys, I will admit. Towards Coda.
14 misses.
Rock and roll, yeah, you managed to dodge out of this thing's gigantic biting mouth. Esme, you're up.
Also, Darren, when this fight is done, tell me what this thing is because it has a fun
Yeah,
aesthetic.
I can't.
I need to see a
Picture-
picture of it.
I can't picture it properly.
I will link you guys the art of it, the official art, 1 sec.
Cool. You described it. I'm like, all of these words make sense to me, but I can't picture them in my head.
I know what these words mean separately.
Yeah, I just can't put them all together. Like a stone dog with a
scrap,
whale face.
Yeah, like a whale style face. Hold on, I'll link it after because I
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
This is a question. When it's an offhand weapon, do you use your bonus action to attack, but you don't add proficiency?
You don't add... No. I believe it's you don't add proficiency to the damage. I believe if you're proficient with the weapon, it's still proficiency. It's just you don't get the bonus to the damage. I think it's just a flat die.
Cool. Let's see what happens. She's going to shoot at it first.
Nice.
I mean, chances are you probably won't have to whip it. But...
Yeah, I'm gonna roll my damage first, and then see if I have to whip it. $47.
Yeah, how does Esme bring it down? Paint me a picture.
It's just a shot from the bow. So she like aims it. I imagine it's like focusing on Coda, so she just aims it for the back head and then just shoots through.
As this thing rears up, like swoops down and goes up to bite Coda, its head goes up and Esme just in the back of the head. Right, yeah, it collapses, and this is what this thing is.
Yeah, they're really cool. Boule, boule.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Now I can picture it.
They're very Monster Hunter rock and roll. But yes, the beast
Um,
collapses, it dies, it is no longer alive.
It is an ex-boule.
Guys,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
do you want to help pull the top of its head off?
Why?
It's like really, really hard to pierce boule skin. I think.
I
It
won't
looks-
ask how you know that, but yeah, alright.
It's actually
Alright.
open to me. I shouldn't do that. Guys, I think we should cut it up for spare parts anyway.
We're gonna go full Monster Hunter on this.
I mean, oh yeah, 100%. But like, I mean, looking at it, you can tell that its head is fucking resistant
Yeah.
shit. Like, if you wanted to be like, but would it be good though? It'd be nature.
I'll try it.
I'm
later.
going to. Yeah, someone else try nature. I was like, that looks tough. Let's just bring it back anyway, and we'll sell the parts to people.
I didn't get a 13 plus 3. Oh, thank God. My curse is broken.
Yeah, you know that this thing's head is pretty resilient. It's a solid curved piece of, resistance, but it's very large, very big.
Will it fit in Henry?
If you kind of like manage to spend some time breaking it off in a kind of smaller capacity, yes, but it's kind of like thick and heavy to the sense that what's the line of thinking here?
Darren, I have a very interesting line of thinking. Would all four of us fit under it?
If you want to break off a piece like a Henry, no. If you wanted to break off a piece to use it as like that kind of thinking, you could. It would just require like essentially strength checks on everyone to hold it up because it's quite a chunky piece of thing.
That's a really cool idea, though. I do like that.
Would it be at all possible for us to sneak while carrying this? My thinking is
Yeah.
Yeah, like we
a
use it
turtle.
as a... Yeah, like a turtle.
getting.
What if we painted it a
although that's how
little?
you also kill turtles, but I don't know. I feel like there's sense to the madness. Where it's just like, we're gonna throw a rock at you. It's like, well, we've got a big old boule shield on our back. I don't know. Doesn't that sound cool? I feel like that sounds cool. I feel like
It does sound cool.
Oh, it sounds very cool. I am here for this. Sneaking effectively with it would require how well everyone's holding it up.
What if, like, we took a little while to, like, kind of give it a bit of a makeover, like, stick some bits of, like, leaf and grass and try and paint over it a little bit, try and, like, get it to...
Coda, there's a giant foggy area. I feel like there's probably a different reason they can, like, target effectively as opposed to seeing through the fog. I also think not violence.
I'm gonna say all amazing points from everybody. I think it's great. It's just if you wanted to carve it and carry it and say do it up in the vein of Coda's idea of like say camouflaging it, it would definitely run down the clock that you guys are operating on.
Oh, yeah. Forget the camouflage, then.
But as for sneaking with it, it would be difficult but doable.
can our survivalists even just attempt to remove the front?
See,
faction,
Risbet, I
like
think,
the
is our
front-
best survivalist.
No.
What's
We can
yours?
Give it a go.
Because I can try an 8. I have +3.
Guys, it is a
Yeah.
group effort. Everyone will be rolling to cut up the body.
I have a
Ah,
plus
is it
1.
Dora?
Well done, Coda.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Neil?
Hold on, hold on. I got a flat 10.
The most average roll.
But nearly always, a 10 is like a C.
Yeah, it's usually a
It's a
pass. Yeah.
Just a pass.
I mean, I think my nat 20 should bump up a bit. I love how the other
Equally-
two aren't doing well, and Cutta's like definitely grossed out by this, but is doing it quite well.
It takes some times, but you guys have what is it, a Caparis? Is that the
Yes.
Carapace,
Yes.
yeah?
Carapace? There we go. That's the one. I was like the second. I was like that's definitely like or is in the wrong place there. But yes, you have that. It's quite large, but like the four of you could definitely take turns dragging it or helping with rope and stuff.
I think there's a family-friendly image of the three of us pull it with Risbet asleep in the back.
Oh,
But just because it's family-friendly doesn't mean it's necessary for the moment. So we'll just all drag it together to our sleeping place.
Who's taking watch?
I'll take watch. Do you want a perception roll?
D100.
Oh, D100. Okay. $35.
You could have sworn you heard large, brooding footsteps in the distance, but nothing ever comes from it. Morning comes. It's clear. It's a nice sunny day. Not a lot of clouds. You guys know moving forward is your destination straight ahead northward. Your plan.
Do we
buddy.
see any like fog yet, or is it still pretty much clear day?
It's clear, but you know that like going off like Grace's and Rat's description in about an hour, you should roughly
Okay.
come like on the frizz of the fog.
Guess we'll drag the carapace then.
Yeah, will we like drag it? Could we like reach the edge of the fog and then like start getting it ready to use as a shield?
Yeah, that could work.
How much noise does it make when we drag it? A lot.
For the moment, it's soil and like dirt underneath you so much.
Okay. Trying to think what the best way to push on is. We need our strong boy mostly levitating and holding it up before us.
Yeah.
But I take it. So, yeah. Okay. Will we attempt strength checks to basically hold it, then sneak? Would we be with disadvantage?
I'm just
as
trying to
we
think.
move forward?
Am I imagining this, or did I have an immovable rod?
You do in Rising Dark.
Do I don't have in this? I thought I had an immovable.
I'm afraid, buddy, such things is on the player to remember, not me.
Cool. I don't know if I have it on my list.
Don't know. No, I think you're thinking Rising Dark. Unfortunately.
I was 99% sure I had one in Warforged, but I just don't have it written down anywhere in this
Ew.
notebook. So
If you don't have it written, would you put it on the troll? Okay.
No, it was in my old notebook. It doesn't matter. It's fine. I just thought that might be handy, but it's fine.
It would be handy.
I cannot find it. I think it was back in like desert times that I acquired, maybe before that, but I can't remember for sure, so I can't say I have it.
What if? What if some pulls while the other two push, and then at least then, or like, this bit here, it would also include bit, like basically one at the front and the rest pushing, and then the worst thing that can happen is we are behind until such a time that we are hit stones and stuff. When we hit stones, I think it's something else. But until such a point where it's like, cool, something's coming. This person needs to like get behind the boule. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Darren, does that make sense?
Yeah, I will say that it's a large creature's like stone skin, so it will probably require 2 people to lift it minimum with solid rolls.
Oh yeah, but like, would that be achieved by 1 at the front pulling and 2 at the back pushing?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, that should be. The problem is, how does this happen sneakily?
See, that's it. The ruling on it is if you're holding it up as a shield to say negate like getting smashed in the face by a boulder, you will be sneaking with disadvantage unless strength checks by everybody, because I'm assuming everyone's participating, hit a threshold, and if they hit the threshold, then you guys are carrying it effectively. You can, like, essentially without disadvantage. You're still going to be moving pretty slow because you're sneaking, because realistically sneaking is half speed. But if not, essentially it'll be determining if you're sneaking effectively or, with disadvantage.
Can we do a test run? You just try it. Can we just test if we are capable of doing it in the first place without giving ourselves
good idea,
disadvantage?
yeah.
Because if it doesn't work, leave it behind. We can come and collect it. We can sell it for money later.
So, what do you want to see if you can sneak effectively, or do you want to lift it so you can effectively?
So
Kind of both.
So we'll start with the strength checks.
Yeah.
To see if we can
Is it a
pull and
strength
lift
check or a
effectively,
strength save?
and then,
Strength check.
Strength check.
and then follow that up with a.
Stealth.
Well, we'll just do the
Just put
strength
it-
first, and we'll see what the threshold is. If it's hit.
Yeah.
I got an 8.
Why are you rolling so low?
Nice.
Why?
Esme is taking the blunt of it. You will roll insane. You'll move very, very slowly. You can certainly now, but it's kind of like you can sneak with disadvantage now, but it's very much like it feels like Esme just kind of caught the lip of something quick, in the same sense that like you're not sure if you'll get a nat roll, and that's.
Yeah. I didn't realize Isadora had +4.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I have +2, but with Jack of all trades, I can have half proficiency.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Does that apply to ability checks as well? That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Guys, should we take it or should we leave it?
If we aren't realistically going to be able to pull this off, better to like break it into smaller pieces into Henry and sell it later.
I think it's better to, if we can't bring it with us, I think we should just leave it and come back.
Yeah, sure.
Just to
If
not run
only
out of
I
time.
could become Buff Coda again.
Coda, what's your... Okay, so you have a flat D20
I have a
for
flat.
strength check. What's your sneak?
+5.
Okay, yeah, no, cool. We're not fucking around with that. Then let's just sneak in.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Goodbye, Boulette.
I'm coming back for you, Boule. You will be mine.
It's a case of you guys marking your heads, like kind of mark trees as to where it is, in the sense that if you declare it on your way home, you can find it. It won't be automatically, oh yeah, we have that. You have to declare it, but you would remember and over. If people declare it on the way home, you guys will be able to find it enough, that sort of thing.
We can ask the giants to throw it to town for us.
Exactly. But yes, you guys stand at the fringe of it all. What do we do?
So we're at the fog?
Well, no, it's a case of like, are people bringing it with us? If not, then it will be sneaking, and if you guys are bringing it with you, it'll be strength, then it's sneaking attempts.
Nah, let's just sneak.
Yeah, straight up sneaking.
Cool. Yeah, you guys bear it. Well, like,
I'm trying to
cover
see if
within
there's
reason.
anything I can do to improve my sneak, but I don't think there is.
You guys travel a bit more. Air feels a bit colder up here. Not crazy. It's just more like, hey, it's certainly not as warm as it was. But you guys stand at the fringe now of this fog. Boulders surround you. Not as many, but you can still see them, and they're, very much like bigger than you. Certainly look like they could splat you if they hit you hard enough. Stealth if you're sneaking for.
Before we do, Isadora casts Frantic Crescendo, and everyone gets Bardic Inspiration.
Nice. Is that a D8?
Yeah. For now, yeah.
Hey, it helped. When does it become a D10? Is that level 10?
I think it is, yeah. Sorry, we're rolling stealth now.
Yep.
Apologies.
That's cool, dude. Don't worry.
I love bards.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Nice, well done. Yes, you guys are all quiet as mice. I slowly creep through the fog, moving northward, kind of like using the sky above to kind of like, as a compass. Yes, as delve deeper and deeper into this area, you notice that there is an abundance of boulders the deeper you get in. Some with carvings, some without. There's dried blood stains, some of them stink, then like it hits your nostrils, that's nothing crazy.
Can we investigate with the carvings if there's anything of note on them?
Sure.
Is it investigation?
Yep.
Oh boy. I'm cursed now. I shouldn't have mentioned the curse.
I mean, that's still not ideal.
Guys, the formation of the markings indicates that it's probably a language you guys do not recognize nor speak. Do you press forward?
Isadora can comprehend this language.
I believe Vizzy has access to such a spell. It's a choice of casting it, or I definitely think you've used it in the past. It's casting the spell, or it's taking 10 minutes to do a ritual.
Before I do that, how old do these carvings look?
That would be a nature check.
Yeah.
Can I try as well?
I'm assuming like these kind of like thoughts or like.
Yeah, she's gonna say it out loud.
Never mind, sorry.
There we go. We're doing a little better.
A few of them are like, 100 years old, and the way the stone is dried on the giant boulder to Izzy's legs, easily 700, 800 years plus.
Okay. But any of them look like recent?
A few of them do. Like, a few of them look like they're probably made this century, but it's like you might come to the conclusion that they probably pile boulders, such things. So it's a case that they carve them, put them down, and then just like, oh, hey, those goddamn Yumis are climbing up there. I was like, oh, just grab one from the pile. That sort of thing.
Yes, and when she's determined this, she'll cast Comprehend Language as a
Yes, it is giant, and it simply reads, go back. Apologies. The old ones say go back. The newer ones say return what you stole.
Ooh.
Okay, so this might be actually giants.
Yeah, now I'm thinking it's giants, and I'm actually not happy with that. Ooh.
Are you afraid of giants?
Who
I'm
isn't afraid of
ghosts
giants?
that could, crush me in an instant, yeah.
Oh, what a sad life. No, let's press on. Let's see if we can encounter a giant and ask what was stolen. Darn.
Does
can I
anyone speak
sneak in?
giant?
Nope. And before you comprehend language, can't do that. I can understand this, can't speak it. Do I?
I'll communicate to them in
Interpretive
With my
giant?
universal
blood-speared body.
I'll communicate to them in the most universal language. Interpretive dance.
Yeah. Can I have stealth check? I'm going to say all this investigating is kind of like reset the counter, so to speak.
Buddy.
We.
You creep through the fog, ever so quietly. You go about this for quite some time.
Do you, see more boulders, or?
Yes, it's kind of like almost like a garden of boulders. You find yourselves passing through what seems to be kind of like a small valley, almost. And yeah, no, it's like boulders kind of ease up a smidge. It seems to be for walking, but like you see gargantuan footprints in the ground before you, and you hear like the mountain rumble, and you hear like a big thump.
What? Hey, Darren. What?
Hello.
Is that a big old foot that's making the thump?
Give me a perception check, a listening one.
There's a big old boulder falling from the sky. Can I roll as well?
Yeah. People may.
26.
The sound originates from the far east. It's kind of like this big echo, and then you hear like a gargantuan, like watery boom.
Are we about to crash?
No, it's more like you probably hazard guess that they're firing on the thingy.
Oh.
Oh. Can we try and avoid that direction then? Like, go around the other side?
I mean, it's more a case of it from the far east, and you guys can only lead forward, northward.
Okay. Just go forward. Just keep on going. Let's hope. No, let's hope nice.
Cool. So. That's a 27, Coda.
Hits.
As you guys creep Coda is straggling behind, his stealth not being the he's trying to be careful to make up. The rock to his right, almost as if it was animating and coming to life. A foot moves, and all of a sudden the piece of stick, almost a great club with a rock at the end of it, swings, crushing into him. Coda, you take 17 bludgeoning damage and are knocked back 10 feet. Roll initiative.
Did we rest after our bullet fight?
Yeah, you had a long
Okay,
rest.
cool.
Yeah, because we rested for the evening.
Did you say knocked back and prone, or just knocked back?
It just knocked back.
Ooh, giant
There's the
token.
big old boy.
See, when it said animated rock, I thought, oh, maybe it's like one of those guys.
Yeah, I thought it was
that
like a
attacks
trap
on the
or
way
something.
to Borea.
No, this this giant before you skin is rock is kind of rocky, coarse, almost like it's like this mountain elf manifested sort of thing. It looks very coarse.
Sorry, so when you said like like a big thing swings at me, I thought you meant like a trap. If this is like a thing attacking me, can I hellish rebuke it?
I may, yeah. Hold on, I'll roll that in a second. Where was I?
Sorry,
Oh, yeah.
big giant.
Yeah, big giant thingy. Yeah, it's essentially a gigantic stone giant.
I'm almost mad it is giants. Like, you're gonna like uncover conspiracy.
I mean, there's probably still a conspiracy that passes,
Yeah.
so it's like half
Something
damage.
has been stolen from them.
Yeah.
He takes whatever half of that is. 14? No, I'm really
Did you say
stupid.
14?
What's happening? No,
No.
sorry, 9.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah,
That's why I
there
was
you
like, what? Cool.
I'm
Izzy,
so
you-
confused.
Isidora is going to cast tongues on herself. She can understand any spoken language she hears. Any creature that knows at least one language can understand what she says. And she's going to say, "We are here to help. We want to return what is stolen, what was stolen from you. If you tell us that is, we will get it back, and no one has to be hurt."
oh yeah, sorry, no. Yes, that's Amy. Sorry, I remembered now what I was about to say about the description. This individual has a weird brand on its face. It looks a little bit more malnourished. It's kind of like coloration around the eye, but it's got a weird brand on its forehead.
What does it look like?
It looks like it looks kind of like on the same vein of the script that was on the boulders. It's probably a word, perhaps, or a letter.
Then if I and language should also still be on, so can I read it?
I was gonna say like an hour passed since you guys.
Oh no, that's fair. Then that's grand. That doesn't matter.
Rock and roll. But yeah, so tongues doesn't let you read; it just lets you speak.
Yes.
So
So
yeah,
it
this
can
thing.
understand me, and I can
Okay,
understand
cool,
it.
cool. Yeah, this thing just turns to Izzy when she like says this, and it just like snarls and it's kind of roaring and like just saliva, and, like big sugar flying out. It's kind of looks almost animalistic in its response. But other than that, it says nothing. Like it's essentially just like snarls. Is that all Izzy wishes to do?
Yes, that's all I can do for the moment. But she is going to say, "You had your chance."
Cool.
Into the ring, as May just says, it's like, I think we can try again with one who is not a feral giant.
Well, we'll see.
Coda, you're up.
Okay, if I'm pushed 10 feet back, I can. Yeah, I'll stand up and then I'm gonna take 2 shots. Yeah, fuck it. Grit points, so 2 sharpshooter with advantage.
Go for it.
Oh, Coda.
You miss both.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, are we at disadvantage? Okay.
It's a disadvantage in perception checks only in obscured, lightly obscured vision,
Okay.
Cool.
which is neato.
God.
Yeah, okay, that's all I'll do.
Rock and roll. Wait, it's not. Let's go silly, Darren. Getting ahead of the game. Esme, you're up.
I'm going to fire 2 shots at the feral giant. Wait. I'm gonna attempt to do insightful fighting with the feral giant, just so I can sneak it back here.
Fair enough.
Eh? $80.
That's nice.
Behold that light!
Nice.
Nice. That's some solid rolls, my dude.
Esme turns to Coda and says, "That's what happens when you believe in God and demon." I'm done, yeah.
Yeah, okay, sir.
What you're doing
It'll
roasting
stand-
Coda.
Yeah, no, it'll stand here, and it's going to take one swing at Izzy and one Coda.
No,
Oh, it has
don't.
crazy reach. Oh.
Don't. How about you don't have crazy reach?
It smashes down beside Izzy in like inner rage because it bring heavy down on Coda. You 19 bludgeoning damage.
Sorry,
Oh.
Coda.
And with that, we are back to Izzy. Stop putting emojis in the fucking chat. Izzy, you're.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da. Where's it fucking gone? Where's it back here? Can it make a save? It's probably good. No, it has disadvantage
Is there any reason why it has disadvantage?
because it's made of stone.
Is it?
You said it was covered in rocks.
It was covered in rocks. Doesn't mean it's made of stone.
DM ruling is Shatter gonna work that way?
No.
Okay, well just make the concentration. She's still gonna cast it. Yeah, that saves. Still takes half damage though. And she's cast
Rock and roll.
at 3rd level.
Ooh, nice.
So,
No, is it thunder damage?
yeah.
Yeah, this thing is like boom, and 2 bits of rocks fly off it and such, and it's kind of like lets out a big roar looking at Izzy. It's really not enjoying yelling at him and then
Yeah.
hurting him.
Yeah, well, you're not my favorite person either, so.
Is that all you should do, Amy?
Oh, no.
Oh,
Gotta go over here.
Amy, you get attacked if you move. You're in his zone of control because he has reach.
Can I disengage?
Not as a bonus action.
Okay, fair enough. I'll take the opportunity attack. I want to get away from there.
Oh wow. Okay, technically Amy or Neil's in his reach. Yeah, one sec.
Big old reach.
18.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, you take 20 bludgeoning damage.
Oof. Okay.
And with that, we're to Coda.
Is Coda alive?
Coda is alive. He's not looking good, but he's alive. When I'm in his zone of control, can I still make a ranged attack without disadvantage?
Yeah, it's more a case of his reach just controls you.
Okay,
so
okay, cool.
You're not within 5 feet of him, kind of thing.
Okay, I'll take first sharpshooter with advantage, and then I'll see what I feel like for the second shot.
Go for it.
Yes! Okay, I get a grit point back from that crit, so I'll use my new grit point to get the second one with advantage as well.
Cool.
Ah, misses. Oh well. I'll do the damage for the first one. That's 26 damage.
Nice.
I'm out of bullets. Well, out, but like I need to reload. I'll end my turn.
Esme, you're up.
I am flirting whispers. Someday, the world will understand. Darren, can you point out how? Hold on. Can I? He's got 15-foot reach, 20-foot reach, or 15 foot.
15.
Cool. One sec. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I thought. Esme is going to move down here. She's going to take 2 shots.
Yeah, go for it, bud. Sorry. I was replying to you. A 14 misses, but a 24 strikes.
Cool. So I don't. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
I do 8.
Cool.
And be a full action for. Yeah, see, technically all I have is a move action. Who is the giant looking at? If anyone?
Currently, Coda. It looks like it's going to absolutely fucking beat the shit out of Coda.
Do it!
Esme's going to hold the Rod of Pelor up, and she's just going to let out a big old whistle as she like backs off and all incurs an opportunity.
18.
Hits.
20 bludgeoning damage.
I'm going to use my reaction to reduce that, and then, yeah, she pops back to there, like, basically trying to get its attention.
Yeah, no, it is 100% looking at Esme now. Because I quite liked that little bit. It's nice flavor. Is that all Esme?
Yep.
It is looking at Esme. It looks disgusted. And with such disgust, it looks back, looks at the cliff face, grabs it with a hand, rips off a chunk, and in one motion turns and fires it like a football.
What?
Oh no.
Oh boy. Esme.
Wait, hold on. Darren, is this a ranged attack?
It's a ranged attack.
No, wait. It's be a deck save. No!
It's a deck save, buddy. That hits, I'm assuming?
It does.
Cool,
Wait.
you take... Oh.
Who's
Yes,
first in
yes.
the initiative order?
I think it was me.
Isadora.
Oh no.
Okay. Oh, fuck. I don't have another reaction. Okay, I'm taking a full back of damage.
Cool, yeah, you take 28 bludgeoning damage. Can I have a strength save, please?
That's not too bad, guys.
It's
I'm
fine.
I'm still in a good
Everyone stay calm, it's fine.
I mean, that would have killed me, but. Oh, hey.
Hold on. Strength saving throw?
Yep.
Cool. Wow.
Esme, you fail, you are knocked prone.
Aww.
As this, like, basically chunk of a mountain clips you in the face. And this thing, like, walks and is, like, towering over Esme. And with that, we're at Isadora.
I'm gonna cast Mass Cure Wounds.
Nice one, buddy.
Because I don't want anyone to die. 19 isn't great, but...
I mean, it pretty much reduces everyone's, like, basically gives them back an attack, which is pretty good.
And... shit, I think that's what I do. Yeah, no, for the moment... Yeah, no, that's all I can do for the moment.
Thank you, Amy.
Just don't die, just murder us.
Is that all you should do, Amy?
Yeah.
Coda, you're up.
Cool. Oh god, I should definitely tank, but I'll do 2 shots, then I'll move up. So I'll take two regular shots, not sharpshooter. They both hit.
Yes.
17. And then I'm gonna move up behind him and try and, like, we're hoping the loud bang might have got his attention, also shooting him. You know what? I'm hoping he'll turn around, so I'm gonna move right up in his grill.
People usually pay attention when they get shot.
And I'll kind of like use, I don't know, no, I can't use thaumaturgy because it's an action, but like I'm just trying to like make a loud noise to try and get him to turn and look at me.
Esme, it's your go, and I will answer your question in 2 seconds. Esme?
Did you answer the question?
Yeah, I said do your turn. I'll tell you the exact height now in 2 seconds.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm just trying to figure something out.
Are you gonna Misty Step onto his head or something?
Yeah, I am. But
Full on Shadow of the Colossus this shit, please.
yeah, the only there's a few problems with the concept.
There's a couple of problems.
It is 18 feet tall.
Ooh.
Oh, then I can definitely do it.
They're the 4th tallest giant.
What's the tallest giant?
Storm giants are 26 feet tall.
Ah. This is gonna sound weird. They're smaller than I thought they'd be.
26 feet's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
tall.
I know, but I was imagining like, giant. I was like, giants are like 50 feet tall.
Yeah, same.
Oh, okay. So then how tall is the smallest giant?
18. No. 16. A hill giant.
Okay, so I have. This is purely conceptual, Darren. So you can tell
Just
me
pitch
how
it.
this happens. Just because of the necessary actions, Esme is going to use Misty Step to Misty Step onto the giant's shoulder, and then she's going to use the Rod of Pelor to attack. But she's going to have to attack its feet or something similar, because I can't melee up here. I mean, I can. I just don't have enough actions to basically stow my weapon, draw a new weapon. I feel like if I ever
Can the
let
Rod
the
of Pelor
Pelor
not
Rod...
become a rapier?
No.
I thought the
Hey.
Pelor Rod like transformed from a bow to a rapier.
Yeah, no, that's been a thing the entire time. Yeah.
I thought it was just
Nope.
between...
That was explicitly explained to you by messenger.
I forgot! So now, I don't need to care as much. It does the same damage.
Correct. It's just you can melee it.
I thought it was that
Yeah, I
I could
thought that was
just
the whole
switch-
vibe.
Oh my god, I was talking. I thought it was something else. Cool. Ella doesn't care then, because she just immediately remembers, like, hey, wait a minute, you can be a sword sometimes. And she swords out, and she's like, I'm gonna stab you in the neck, asshole. And then she's gonna attack up above on the shoulder.
Misty steps up, makes an attack. Please roll. Somebody thinks it could happen. I'm excited.
Ooh.
Ooh, well, one of the things I was planning isn't going to happen. Roll damage.
Nice.
How does Esme bring it down?
Yes.
I feel like she full on, like, oh, it's so anime and gross, and I watch anime. She, like,
Yay!
puts the...
Yeah, you
She
do.
puts the... I don't. Well... No, I don't. Like, the closest thing is Avatar, and that's not anime.
Yeah, that's
it's not.
fair.
Esme puts the rod against its neck, like, on one side of its head.
Oh.
Like, swordy boy! And it just turns into a sword.
Yes!
And then, like, draws it back, and it's like, oh, you're dead now. Shit one. Also, I'm gonna die falling.
Make a dex save to land on your feet.
I cast Featherfall.
You no longer need to make a dex save to land on your feet.
Esme appears as an angel from the sky and slowly floats.
No, she casts Featherfall on like your left ankle, so you float down upside down.
It's not a dignified
Featherfall
float.
on the giant, so the giant doesn't get hurt.
The giant collapses, having its brain pierced with the light blade that is Pelor's rod. It crashes down to the ground with a mighty thunderous boom, and the ground rattles, and spare rocks along the side of the cliff face rattle, and the roar of its death, echoes through the valley. The fog is still present, and in the distance you can see a what looks like a light bobbing up and down and going back and forth. And you can kind of hear very soft, muffled noises, but you're too far away to know what the hell's going on.
Esme just says, "Hey, let's get closer by sneaking."
Yeah, that could
Honestly,
work.
That went better than I expected, really.
But let's be careful from now on. I really would prefer to talk to them if we can.
Oh yes, I would rather not do that again. Making stealth checks?
Yep. That's 16 year stealth, Coda.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys creep forward and you hear like, oh my, oh no, oh my, as this like light that hangs about maybe 7 feet high is like bobbing left and right like crazy, like going back and forth all around the place.
Guys, lights are so nice.
Wait, so we just see a light bobbing at us?
Yes, kind of a soft orangey yellow glow.
And is the voice coming from it? Or coming from like beneath it or around it or what?
Would have to creep incredibly close to figure out what it is physically like making the noise.
I'll try.
Cool. While you do that, I'm just going to close my window.
Esme enters the room, just says, "Hey guys, just hold on. I'll see what it is, and then I'll whisper back. But if it's something scary and it sees me, I'll run screaming towards you, okay?"
Cool.
Okay.
If it's something terrible, I'll aggro it and bring it towards the group. Esme, as you
Business
creep
as usual.
forward, as you creep forward, you notice, as you get closer, you start to see more details. The light is indeed a light. It is several gems or rocks, you're not sure, in a little cage on the end of a large stick. The stick is connected to a little tiny pale blue hand, kind of dark palish blue hand. The hand is connected to a little individual that kind of looks like a gnome, and they're kind of running around flustered, trying to it seems they're trying to they've lost their direction.
So wait, how big is... What size is all of this?
The gnome is a regular gnome height. The light is on the edge of a very long staff or stick that kind of puts the light about 7 feet high, maybe.
You said they were blue.
Is it Esme relaying this to us?
Yeah, and she just says, she's like, "It's a gnome. I can totally kill him." And she just says,
Don't. What are they?
"No,
Are
me. It's me, your conscience. Come closer that I may give you guidance."
Esme, you take 1 damage as this staff with light at the end of it swings and bonks you in the head.
She just stands up and rubs her head. It's like, "This is no way to treat your conscience."
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you friendly? Are you nice?
I could ask the same to you.
Okay, I'll ask you another question. Are you nice? Are you friends with the giants?
I'm friends with some giants.
What about the ones with the big old brands on their foreheads?
Oh, no, you didn't kill him, did you? Is that the roaring I heard?
No, someone did. He was like,
Deception check.
We found him like that, we swear.
I have +1 to deception.
Same.
Ah!
Yeah, that's good.
Pretty good.
He doesn't believe you. You notice when he gets close, his eyes look weird.
She's like, yeah, well, okay, I lied. I'm a liar sometimes, not often. I just try my best.
How
So
do you get
lost in the-
text?
But yeah, I'm getting to that. Just like we came to seek out these giants in the hope of helping a situation in Orion, and then we were attacked. My friend Coda, he's a delightful red-skinned tiefling. He was nearly turned into a red-skinned blot on the side of the mountain. Why was he your protector? We'll be your protectors. We're really nice, I promise. I don't know.
Calling got his dick. I know how this goes.
He like shakes his head and he's like, "Oh no. Just he was in exile. It was not his fault that he attacked you like that. It was purely a result of his condition."
Yeah, my friend tried to speak to him in Giant, and I didn't know she could speak Giant, so that was interesting. But and then he just like growled at her, and we were like, "Guess we're not getting this one alive."
He's
Where was
like,
he
"Nah."
getting
He's like,
exile
"Oh
from?
yeah. No, the clan more. Like, you have friends? Where are your friends? I do not see them." He's like waving this like thing of light like around like a madman.
He just says like, "Well, I'm gonna call them forward now in a second." Or but like, if we're with you, how likely are we to get a boulder thrown at us by a giant in the next like?
If you are with me, more likely actually. That's where's the body?
What's your name?
My name is Luke Martin. What is your name?
Luke. I'm gonna call you Luke. Esme. Okay, Luke. The body's this way. Come with me, Luke. I'm gonna call you Loopy. Call you Mott. No.
Boys.
Come, Loop. We're gonna go and see my friends and the unfortunate body of the unfortunate victim who attacked. Esme announces into the ring. It's like, I'm bringing a tiny blue gnome back to the body. Come and investigate with us, guys.
Yeah, Esme appears to the party with a small gnome who happens to have a complexion of blue, and his eyes are odd. He has no hair on the top of his head, and he's holding an odd staff. Well, staff like really, really long stick with a small wire cage that has glowing rocks in it.
He doesn't look anything like the Quickling we met, does he?
No.
Does
Okay.
he look anything like Monkey?
No.
Is it that same kind of blue?
No, it's like a kind of a stony, bluey kind of thing. You can identify what kind of gnome he is with a nature check.
I'll try.
Isadora, you Coda, you kind of can't put your finger on it, but Isadora's like, hey, 13 plus 3 again, yeah. Izzy, you know that no this complexion, and he has like you can see like the stubble of white hair on his chin, and you would know that these are typically deep gnomes.
Yeah, I figured that was okay.
They typically have kind of pale eyes, but this guy's eyes kind of has that like sort of like burst split pupil going on, just sort of a weird chemical reaction going on in his eyes. You know that they can see in the dark like most gnomes, but this individual seems to be brandishing a light of some kind.
And like, are they normally based in mountains?
Sometimes, very near the surface, they typically come from the Underdark. So it's very, very rare to see them topside, let alone you'd probably see them in a mountain range, but you would very seldom see one out in the wild, like the wilderness, or like topside. Typically come from the ground. He starts like as Izzy's kind of like looking him over. He's like quickly placed stones over this giant's corpse. That's like rocks and stuff he's picking up.
What are you doing, Luke Martin? Guys, this is Luke Martin.
It's like, oh, it's their practice. If they don't die under the stone, they don't go into their afterlife. So I'm just helping.
Do we need lots of stones or just a few?
Oh no. It's the best I can do.
Who are you? Like, are you an ambassador, an emissary? Do you live here?
Oh no, I'm. Oh, sorry, forgive me. I'm Luke Button. I am an exile of the underdog.
Okay. So what are you doing up here?
Well, I won't bore you with the details, but essentially it was my word against the nobles. It didn't go well. I was banished to the top side, and I was not a fan of the idea, and I was attacked by the giants, the clan of this unfortunate individual, and he gestures to the corpse before you guys. And I've been kind of trying to tag along with them. They have some people who reside outside the clan called Dreamwalkers, and I've managed to befriend one, and I'm actually currently waiting for her to return, so that's why I've been running around here like this beast.
Hey.
Hello? Yeah?
Is there like a portal or a staircase or something to the Underdark nearby?
Oh, no, I was, put in chains and my eyes burned, and I was forced to run for 3 weeks because of the manacles of madness, we call them. They're not nice.
That doesn't sound great. I'm just gonna follow up here. How long have you been here?
Not long, about a month maybe. I have an amazing plan. You see, I'm going to compile a small book of topside individuals who to offer up as penance for my crimes, and hopefully I will be accepted. I'm going to have to study that thing, and he points at coding. He's like, I've never seen one before, but I must know what it is.
That's a tiefling. What I'm gonna say to you is, I can think of some people that you can willingly sacrifice to the Underdark. Like, I'll help you with that one. Just, do you know what was stolen from the giants? Like, how well with the Dreamwalker did he happen to say, like, I'm really angry, Luke Motton. I'm furious at that town, and do you know why? Do you know why, Luke Motton? It was because they stole my what that was.
He's like, I don't follow. It sounds like you're having. Do you need to rest? No, I know they stole a sacred stone of some kind. I don't know. The chieftain could tell you more, or her steward, or perhaps Blugan, who is the Dreamwalker who I am currently waiting for.
So you don't know why they're attacking the town?
No, I just know they are upset and they are considering marching on the town very soon.
Do you know how we can speak to the chieftain without being crushed by flying boulders before we reach him?
Reduced to a small red paste, no doubt.
Yes.
We can wait for Blurgen to show up, and we can use. She can guide us through like a safe passage, and perhaps we could get a conversation or two in before they decide whether to smash us into a small red paste.
Yeah, I'd be content to get as much help as possible.
Yes, I'm happy to wait rather than being crushed into a paste, as you say.
He nods. He's like, "Yeah, this is the best idea." My camp that I told her I would wait for her at is back this way, and he gestures to like the direction that Esme like found. If you would like to come and wait, we can. I can brew us some liquid to drink, and we can wait and chat, and I can study your friend here, and we can go from there.
Yeah, all right.
So wunderbar, and he like literally like kind of doesn't wait for people to go. He like runs off into the fog with the light.
Yeah, I'll follow him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, go ahead.
As like they like jog on after him, Esme goes like, at least he doesn't want to study your feet like that one guy.
We don't speak of that man ever again.
Yeah, it's because he got murdered. Anyway,
Yeah, I miss him.
Where are you, tiny blue man?
You guys follow the light in the fog, and you approach a small campsite. It's got one bedroll and kind cloth, very large chunks of cloth in another size that clearly would benefit a very, very big person. But he gestures to sit down, and there's like a pot that looks like a brew tea. You're not too sure, and there's a little fire. And he's like, this is a bit of a blind spot. If you wait here, they can't hit the boulders. They have to come and smash you in person, so it's kind of a nice spot.
Do they know? I mean, I have to assume they know you're here, or at least in the area.
Oh yeah, they know I'm here. It's just not many of them like me and try to hit me because of the light. You know, it's just if I don't have the light, I can see, and it's kind of like a much for muchness. It's like my small stature makes it very easy though to weave in and out of the attempts at throwing the large rocks at me.
I don't want to offend or anything, but would you be comfortable telling us why you were exiled?
Oh yeah, see, my word again, nobles. We were part of a hunting party, and they didn't like one of the members, so they made it look like we were attacked by drow, who are these evil elf people. They're not very fun at all. They kind of are into the whole slavery thing and putting people like me in cages. It's not fun. But yes, they decided to quite literally stab him in the back and throw him from a large height. And I wasn't a fan of it, nor was I part of the plan. And it was very much their word against me. I'm not of noble birth. So their word carried more weight, and they had the audacity to blame me for doing the stabbing. I pleaded my case. The leader of the village took pity on me because I grovelled like a little bitch, as he said. And yeah, they, instead of executing me, they sought for exile. So I was placed in the manacles of madness. My eyes were burned, so I could no longer see in the dark. And I was forced to sprint due to the manacles as fast away from the city as possible. My kind can go through stone, so if I couldn't follow any of the tunnels, I would simply run through the stone, and after a while I came upon a small building, or well, not building, a small hovel under the city, and it turns out, oh, it's a giant home, and they don't like me because I'm small and not a giant. What about you? Why are you exiled to the mountains?
No,
You
we're
came
not
to kill all the
exiled.
giants. Because
Oh, that's not nice at all. Why are you trying to kill all the giants? I never did anything wrong to you.
well, they're destroying those ships. However, if your friend Blurgen is really nice, we won't kill her. But we're gonna kill the rest of
Look,
them.
we just want them to stop attacking the town.
I think Risbet wants them dead.
Yeah, well, Riz is not here.
If we can
Esme
find
covers
it,
his ears.
if we can find some way to prevent murder, that would be. Maybe we can return this stolen item, and then they wouldn't need to throw giant arrows at ships.
Esme just says, I'm gonna put 10-1 odds that it's the shrine to Osprim that we need to return.
Oh my god, I bet you're right. It's gonna be the worst thing ever. Anyway.
The Luke Martin's like, well, I don't know what a ship is. It sounds important by the way we're talking, but yeah, no, I'm not sure. Blurgen will explain more, and as he says that, you just hear like really like kind of ethereal voice of like, who have you brought to us, Luke Martin? And from the fog comes a tall figure, the same kind of complexion as the giant you guys just felled. It's just there's no kind of coarse stone jutting out or attached to this person's body. They are in they wear deep, thick robes, and bits of like stone dangle from it, like from thread and such. And probably like, take vines from like some root or plant that grows up through the mountains. They seem to have bits of stone like dotted around their attire. They are completely smooth-skinned in the sense that, again, that they don't have like kind of the hard, rough, coarse skin of the previous giant, and they are completely bald with no hair, and they kind of have like some sort of like weird markings, kind of in a similar enough style to the writing that was on the stones. But she brandishes a massive staff, and she towers over you guys, about like just a little bit taller than the others. She's about like 20 feet tall.
And she's speaking common?
And she speaks common, yes.
Hello, we're travelers from Orion, and we're here to see what we can do about helping everyone from, I guess, stop what's happening up here. We're fixing it.
Ah, you hail from that small town down there in the dream, I see.
Sure.
Yes.
Like, you are no
Hey.
doubt here. Oh, I don't want to do German. You are no doubt here because of the attacks on your people, Asu.
Yes. Whatever they did to piss you guys off, we want to fix it.
She seems to kind of be moving slower, like as if she's like processing everything slower. She like nods really slowly and she's like, well that's good because my kin gear for war. We're almost on the brink of a war between us. One side does not wish to go to war, the other does, and it's just, it's very stressful. Our homes in the mountain are safe and secluded, but sometimes thieves from this dreamland, and she gestures around, creep into our home and clearly take what is not theirs, and it upsets the balance.
What was taken? We saw stones that read return what was stolen. What was stolen?
She does the really slow nod again. She's like, we call it the the right eye of the dragon. My people were excellent dragon slayers many centuries ago, and we prided ourselves on such things. And our king, our leader, our chieftain, sits upon the throne of the great stone dragon that he felled many years ago, nearly a millennium at this rate. And she's like, It seems to kind of like chase a dream, as she like, or chase a memory, and she kind of catches herself and looks back to the group. But he is very disheartened by the fact a thief has stolen an eye from his most treasured possession. He doesn't speak. He hasn't moved from his throne as penance, and our courtrooms are beginning to break down. And soon, if they do not come to a compromise, they will march on the small city, and they will forcibly take back what is ours.
How big is it, and what does it look like?
It's essentially the size of one of the boulders, like she gestures with her hands, kind of thing. And she's like, it's from a rich mineral. I believe. She's like, oh, what was the word we used to describe it in the common tongue, loop? Lupon. And he's like, oh, I think they call it. He's like, I think they call it jade. She's like, jade.
Darren, would we have seen anything like that in town?
Yeah, can I roll history, see if I can remember anything? Like...
You may indeed roll a die. Go for it, bud.
Up to the 10. Oof.
No, sorry guys. You 110% can confirm did not see a gigantic jade eye anywhere.
I was like, I had my out of character suspicions. It might have been in Oswald and Myrtle and Thingy's place, Joni. But I was like, oh, thank God.
Oh no, yeah, no, it's 100%. You guys have not seen a gigantic jade eye.
Good.
Esme says to Lurgan, are people like us suspected of stealing it? People of our size? Because...
She like nods when Esme says that.
She says, are you sure? This is
Yeah.
something... This is something that... At least that it would not take one but many of us to move at once. I hate to particularly cause further division within your ranks, but are you sure this is not something a giant has done to call for an attack on the town?
She smiles warmly at Esme. It's not in a condescending way, but it's very much just like, she just doesn't understand our customs kind of thing. And she's like, oh, there was a witness to the crime. They reside in our court.
I'm sure we're going to go. Would you be able to bring us to your court that we may ask further questions and also ensure that we do not die?
I can escort you into the court safe passage. Depending on what you say to my
of course,
king, I cannot ensure your complete safety, but as long as you do not insult the king under the mountain, then all should be okay.
Yeah, that's Esme. Esme pretty much talks that one out. It's like, as long as we are polite and cause no willing affront, you can get us in and out without getting smushed by other people.
Yeah, she stands and she's immediately like, we walk now, and she just takes off walking into the fog.
Okay.
Come on, Loop Mutton, let's go.
He's like, oh yeah, and he takes off, and you see Blurgan is waving, very gingerly waving her staff back and forth and humming, and the top of her staff is a crescent shape, and there's a thread going from end to end, and there's these little rocks, and as she moves it, it's kind of jingling and jangling, and she's just kind of humming, and it takes you guys about maybe 10-15 minutes of walking, and it's kind of a case of you blink and suddenly you're out of the fog, and you're walking through this gargantuan tunnel and going deeper down into them.
Oh my god, we're going underground.
Yeah, and we will leave it there because I just saw the time and I don't want to keep anyone extra longer. But yeah, we will pick it up next week as we descend down into the mountain for a chat with the crestfallen.
The Mountain King.
Yeah.